Infinity 26 Touch.
With McAvoy among the injured troop for the Hawks, he won't be playing this afternoon, nor will Lewis if he just joined us, a late withdrawal. And Stratton also out. So Lewis, Lake, Rioli, Mitchell, Gibson, McAvoy, Stratton, Whitecross and Jed Anderson not there for the Hawks. Up they go to start this big one here at the G, and a holding free to Hawthorn already. And Sewell's been held. So he'll get the early clearance. And they want to go long. They've got the big men forward. Hale's one of them. Got up, ran under it a little. Still it gets a chance to hammer it towards goal, and it doesn't quite turn for David Hale. Only a behind.
Good start by the Hawks, getting the ball forward. Their tall players getting involved. Good to see Sewell getting involved also. A bloke who's had to work really hard to get his spot back in the side. Heath Shaw. Important for Heath Shaw to have a big game today. When you are on big money, you're recruited to developing units like the GWS, you've just got to produce an effort on days like today.
Cheney back into the lineup this week. Hammers it forward. Puopolo spun out of some trouble. Shields. There's a Shield and a Shields out there. Hill flies from 3 deep. Hard tackle low, but Gunston won't miss from there. Opening goal for the Hawks.
Just good method there by Hawthorn. Good hard bodies at the footy and good method. Nice controlled ball. Whilst it's wet, it's basically a little bit of dew on the ground. Really, it's not going to impact on skilled players. Have a look at this.
Big error though, Jared, by Frost. Right then he can come over the top and chest mark that, or kill it, or just hit it so far away. It's going to be quite a retrieval.
But as a result of that error, ball comes to ground. Hawthorn, so drilled, so experienced at the fall of the ball. And the one place that they aren't missing too much at the present time is up in that forward line. They've got plenty of talent there.
It was a real soft drop for him to get onto the end of that.
So the opener for the Hawks. Devon Smith came hard, missed his handball target, now under some pressure and turns it over. Smith tried to hammer one out. Puopolo dances, Burgoyne thumps it forward. Straight to Shaw, and Shaw-footed heads wide. So they need to play a little bit of possession football and get a few touches here. Tomlinson goes back. Kennedy. Just let everybody have a feel of the leather.
They don't let you out too easily, though, the Hawks. There you go. Really going to put your skills under the microscope this afternoon.
Frost to Moore.
So they've got it from one end of the ground to the other, but they're still not out. And this is one of the problems playing percentage football, possession football. If you don't go forward, eventually you get put in a position where you may lose the ball. So they've got it up to the wing. They're about 30 metres advanced on where they were on the other side of the ground, but they've had 10 opportunities for Hawthorn to get it back.
Don't mind that Jeremy Cameron's come up to the wing. At least it shows, there's a good stretch there. At least it shows he's willing to come up at the ball first, and that's got to be his first move.
Will you spend a bit of time with him this week, Dermot? That was the message.
Yeah, his natural go-to, because he's so clever, is to beat an opponent out the back, and he's good at it. But to do that, you've got to come forward as your first move.
We certainly couldn't do that this time last week. He was playing in defence. Whitfield heads to half forward, so a good build-up here for GWS. An opportunity to go forward. Hoskin Elliott.
Ball on the ground there. Good recovery from Dylan Shield, though, to knock it forward.
Big fall. Umpires found a free in the middle of that, and it'll go to Greater Western Sydney. Patton's ball, contact off the ball by Schoenmakers.
Yeah, just a little touch on him. I saw that. He was set for a run at it. But if you watch it here, see, not looking at it, he was set for a run and didn't get a run at it. That's a good jump by young Reese.
Yeah, Schoenmaker chested him and gave away a penalty, and the GWS got on the board.
That's a good result. Good result. That, from what the game I studied on them last week, Jared, the ball would come around from one back flank, around the back line in the horseshoe back to the other side, but the forwards didn't work hard enough to beat their opponents in the foot race to the other side. Sometimes in league footy, it's just damn hard work. And that's what it is. When that happens, you've got to beat your opponent out the other side to be the lead up. Well, you take Gibson and Brian Lake out of the side.
you are a little bit skinny in defence. Shellmakers has gone from the half-forward flank where he made his return when everybody was available. Now he's back to full back, so that's a return to the future for him.
Roughhead sent into the middle to play as a ruck rover, with Segler doing the ruck work.
He's a very good wet weather player, Roughhead, as a ruck rover. He got 106 kilos of being able to stand over the ball. He's very difficult to move away from it.
He's had a good start, Tom Scully.
Heads wide. He's yet to have a 25 or 25 plus possession game this year. Tom Scully, will they release him to allow him to get a bit of it and try and generate some movement forward? Patton sees it tapped out, will get a ball in. Hasn't been a big possession getter since joining Greater Western Sydney. A very controversial move. Tom Scully. Segler.
Holding him, Brad.
So against Sewell, it'll go to Jacks, who's another one of the GWS players back into the lineup this week. They've made a few moves. First game for Christian Jacks for 2014.
Derm, take us inside the GWS camp. From outside, it's difficult to quite understand what would be going on with so few senior players there. You were there this week.
Yeah, I'll wait on this play and give you an answer to that. I mean, that bloke who's just gone for the ball there is incredibly important, Shane Mumford. Wherever you go, there needs to be a senior person on the ground that actually leads the way for these young blokes. Gives them the rite of passage, the right to look at somebody who's going to be there for them. But they just look up and they see other young players, and that's not a great free kick, that one. So you really need that seniority aspect, or someone in every area of the ground. But their focus this week, from everything I saw, was really physical. Really physical. They trained harder than you and I reckon we ever did in one-on-ones at AFL level, Jared. So they're going to be up for the challenge, and they'll physically come at them. It's how long they can hold.
Cruz to Shields to Birchall.
Good hands.
No, in the back, maybe. Play on. Advantage. Birchall to Gunston. Within range. No one's in the square. Thinks about it. Short passes instead. And Smith, a little juggler.
And that's a great delight watching the Hawks. Just the rapid movement of the footy. When they go 100 miles an hour. They've got the skills to back it up. Even a wet ball didn't stop them there, even though a couple of the executions were borderline.
27 possession game last week in that loss to Port Adelaide, and he's running at almost 5 possessions per game this year, more than last year, so having a good season. Isaac Smith gets plenty on that. Looks good off the boot. Magnificent.
There's some poundage on the back of that ball when it strikes his boot.
He's a beautiful kick. He's just great to watch. When he unleashes one,
Look at Mummy trying to
they are
chase up there.
fantastic. You can just see this ball coming forward. There's space, and it's blokes running into space from behind the ball so often. And there, Gunston wasn't the perfect kick, but Smith had the skills to back it up. So the Hawks in charge of the clearances. They're in charge on the scoreboard, but the GWS have got away to a start. They want to get a centre clearance and get it into their forward line and put a relatively inexperienced Hawthorn defence under pressure.
There was one of them, Langford, who's dived in again, and he's wrapped up. There's no prior opportunity there, even though he was on his knees when he gathered it. Ball up. A few inexperienced players out there. Hallahan, Langford as well.
That's the old Hawthorn way, though. Hallahan's played 2 full seasons of reserves grade footy for AFL, so they are experienced young men rather than first-year draftees, rookies. Tough kid, that one. Former boxer from the Mornington Peninsula. Don't think he'll shy away from too much.
Yeah, 4th year on the list, so just to emphasise your point, as opposed to... And Palmer's got told to play on here, and he's been wrapped up. Did that prior opportunity elapse when he was told to play on? No, gets the benefit of the doubt. But the GWS players, in essence, were just given games. First year, second year, straight into AFL. And as you said, the Hawthorn way is to make you earn your spot, and it takes you a couple of years sometimes. Palmer gets the kick. And Cameron, not sure he thought that through.
So what you've got now, essentially, GWS is literally in their 3rd year. They're an under-22 side with a sprinkling. He's got some tricks. He's clever, isn't he? Very opportunistic. They're an under-22 side with a sprinkling of senior players throughout.
It's a really interesting debate as to the best form of development. You've got first and second round draft picks with no ability to learn without the pressure of senior football, up against some rookies who would have been taken in the 4th or 5th round but are in a senior premiership operation because they've had much better grounding.
Yeah, the development aspect of the Hawthorn Football Club has been fantastic, and been a few clubs like that. Good fist from Litherland, another one of those who's playing for his life like Langford to stay in this lineup and head to the final. Segler hands it off to Hodge. This looks good. Build up towards half forward. Hallahan,
good
one of those players.
Well
bang! We just spoke about his toughness. Puopolo to Gunston. Unselfish central ball. Didn't need to do that. And marked by Jacks.
Aiden Core won't get a stat for that, but he came off his man and read the ball coming forward, and a really brave play. A wrap for this kid. He's pure. He's exactly what the GWS are. Light on for experience, but he's just got so much talent, the boy.
Moving the ball a lot better. It was a self-inflicted wound last time around when the Hawks took it away, but this is much better movement. Again, breaking down just with inaccuracy of kicking.
Have a look at this.
Land with a fist
where he peels off and comes forward. He has left his man. Now, there's no stat there, but he created the spill. Otherwise, Hallahan's got the first dibs on that and does what he wants with it for Hawthorn.
GWS hanging in their early stages. Langford clears to the wing. Roughhead, good use of the body, experience and class on Jacks, and goes inboard to Smith. They're not demolishing GWS yet. They're halfway through this opening term. Puopolo.
Couple back for GWS. You're not going to make this, Will Hoskin-Elliott. Oh, good effort. Good boy. Well done.
And Burgoyne off the deck. Nearly made something of it. Scully, good attack. Kept it in front. Hoskin-Elliott.
As I said earlier, he started well, Tom Scully. And expectations are high on him, as they should be.
Mumford slick to Lamb, back into the lineup. Over the head of Palmer, peels back onto it. Birchall trying to shut him down. Hand off to Cameron. Oh, can you believe it? Jeremy Cameron, you've got to handle that. That was an open goal. Back to Devon Smith. He hammers it forward and mops up the mess.
Well, they had 2 chances of goal there. One was butchered, but everyone fumbles, but under the pressure that they were under. That was great work by Palmer. It just goes to show that even the most talented can drop confidence. But I like this kid. He will not handball. I'll give him that. He's the new. He is the new KB. He is the KB of the 21st century. But I love the way he plums to play every time.
A couple of Collingwood like that too, mate.
Whitfield with the trainers. We'll keep an eye on that. Another one of their #1 picks, the Victorian from Mornington, Lockie Whitfield. There's a few Victorian scouts, no doubt, here today, trying to lure 1 or 2 of these back home. Shield heads wide. Been a lot of talk in the papers about that this week. Lamb.
Well, Dylan Shield is one who tried to get back to Melbourne 12 months ago, but he's such a talented player. They're not going to try and keep each and every one of them on the list.
Little paddle out to Smith. He handballed. Might still get it back.
He gave the give and get.
Yeah, that's right. It's a ploy just to get yourself free.
Oh, Towner.
He's kicked around the body and just missed.
Well, full apology there to Devon Smith. He did handball, but he didn't do it when he had an opportunity to shoot a goal.
And boys, Lockie Whitfield just in the hands of the trainers down here. We're just seeing it here. He's hyperextended his left knee. They're just doing a little bit of work on it at the moment, but it looks a little bit distressed at the minute.
That looks ugly.
Go over on the kick in here.
So ball up top of the square. Here's what we're going to get.
Jacob Townsend kicked that last point. He's he's come over. Yeah, that's a bit no ball. Yeah, Jacob Townsend. He's not built for the delicate things in football. He's you can't help but admire him. He's one of those good old-fashioned ragtag mongrels.
Another opportunity here for GWS to make something out of nothing. They take a 1-point lead if you ask them pre-game with 14 minutes on the clock. Here's Smith again. Buffeted out of it, but kept it alive for a split second.
Did pretty well then. He almost kept that.
Well, right now, they've matched Hawthorn for energy. They've matched Hawthorn for spirit. And they're nearly matched them on the scoreboard. They've got plenty of talent. What they haven't got is experience. Is experience. But if you don't bring energy, you're going to get belted by whoever you play.
Ward dumped hard tackle.
We're seeing Langford cruise around behind Cullen Ward. He'll go make his way over to him now. There you go. Hooks onto an arm.
Hawthorn getting numbers back. Langford got that possession. Harmon got there before Hill. Gives it up. Treloar across the face. Not a bad spot though. Hoskin Elliott.
Oh, this boy's got a good pair of hands. He's going to be one of these guys, Dwayne, who is seriously quick. Around the 6'1" mark. He's a midfield, outside midfielder who's seriously quick. But as you've seen right there, he's going to be a difficult matchup floating forward because he's got beautiful hands above his head when he's allowed third man jump at it.
And they have a handy break here. 7 points, Greater Western Sydney. But he's hobbling. That's not good.
Got a couple hobbling at the moment. The Giants.
Might have been air sickness. Well, it's a great mark given the circumstances. Reece Palmer has had a fantastic start to the game. Now, that's a dangerous kick. That's where you want the ball to go. And despite the fact that they've got plenty of numbers down there, Hawthorn, it's difficult to block when you're that high up in the air. That's a really good jump, and he's hurt an ankle, obviously.
He was a pick 4 for Greater Western Sydney, Will Hoskin Elliott. They took him ahead of Chad Wingard, who ended up going to Port Adelaide at pick 6. And that was a nice mark. Let's hope he's okay. Ward, he's had a fantastic year again. Shield off the deck, Suckling. Shields.
Oh, well read.
Driving back with the flight though and put it to ground, Kennedy. And the Hawks lay some tackles and we'll get another ball up this Hoskin Elliott. And yeah, just turned on the landing perhaps.
Just playing one-on-one all over the ground at the present time. Hawks have just dropped an extra back, so at each and every centre bounce, though, they're going head-to-head.
So Hale, the flyer, hits the deck. Crazy scramble. Ward gets back. Bruce taken to the boundary.
Christian Jakes, as you said, playing his first game for the season, just running out of screen right now. That's a good battle. Lee Shaw will have to be on his wariest best.
Burgoyne caught. Get another ball up. So they're hanging in again. GWS stopping the Hawks from breaking free. Keep themselves in the game for as long as possible. Certainly didn't happen last week against Richmond, who almost had the game won at this point of the game. Duray caught. Burgoyne. Smith knocks it on. Patton came down to half back. There's no one to go to. And that'll be coming back. Cheney to take the free.
Interesting seeing Dennis Smith up that far. Hodge is on him essentially, and he's about 25 metres behind him, allowing him to go up to the pack.
Mumford and Kennedy both went up. Core. Again, there's 15 players around this ball. Shaw rolls it away. Patton. Hodge. Patton used his body nicely. Lamb hands it up. Scully. And now they've got a couple of one-on-ones. Birchall, Cameron.
Oh, smart play.
And Cameron knocks it over. Very nice play.
Cameron.
Palmer needs to give it back to him. He rolls it towards goal and goes all the way home himself.
It was just good energy on that half back line where they won the ball. Brendan Bolton will have some concerns. He'll look up and he knows he's missing a lot of A-grade talent. So these lists aren't anywhere near as far apart on talent as you'd expect, given one's on top and one's at the bottom looking fairly ordinary at the moment. But that was just good team play. Palmer's started well. Well done to Jeremy Cameron. That was super clever. Could have got it back himself.
What's it look like from ground level? Cameron Mooney.
Well, it looks pretty exciting down here at the moment. I think you're spot on, Jared. Their ability just around the ball to attack it and their energy around the ball is amazing today. But look, Whitfield and Hoskin Elliott have both come back on with a little bit of a limp. Just another interesting fact down here that Leon Cameron is on the bench, coaching from the bench. And every time a young guy comes off, he is grabbing them for a quick 10, 15-second talk.
They might have to go upstairs and coach shortly. Smith hands it out. Hodge rolls it towards the boundary, and this might go from being a project game for Leon Cameron and GWS to a very, very winnable game.
I was going to say, Moons, when you actually truly believe that the GWS have a chance to win this match, I want you to just flag it with us.
It's a little bit like the NFL. They're just covering the mouth so he couldn't be lip read through his instructions.
Nice. Sure. Scully, and he gets a free for too high. Well, we saw this round one with GWS when they surprised the world and beat one of the teams that's now the premiership favourites, the Sydney Swans. And this is a good news story evolving here. They've lost their past 2 games by over 100 points. And it was in Western Sydney.
It was in these conditions too, Dwayne, that they played so well in. And they do enjoy it when they are up and about and playing that contested footy. They are pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, the Melbourne game was in rainy conditions as well. They've won 2 games. They've won 2 of their first 3 games, GWS, to give us all some excitement. Tomlinson. And can't keep that in.
Contested possessions 30 to 25. A little poke in the eye coming there. He gets one across the chops.
And again, he's leading the way. He's winning a lot of contested ball. He's getting it forward. And the Hawks are being challenged right now. And these are the sort of conditions, it's been the sort of week where it all adds up to a potential upset.
Rough head, gee, that's untidy and unlucky. He'll get a 50-metre penalty and line up from 35.
And that's just the sort of stuff that would have you pulling your hair out as a coach.
Especially with a senior player doing it.
Senior player, unforgivable mistake.
All the momentum was with Greater Western Sydney. They'd kicked the last 3 goals of this game. And here we are, 22 minutes gone opening term, and that scoreline surprising everyone. The players, their hope was building. Jared Roughhead to put an end to that. Never in doubt.
Well, there was a couple of mistakes there. The ball goes out on the full. It was a kick that wasn't under extreme pressure. It should have gone 20 metres inside the boundary line. And then, of course, he's sure. But Brendan Bolton, Dwayne, he's had a long journey to get to this spot as senior coach.
First year in North Hobart, he won the Southern Football League pennant. Then he coached Tasmania Devils in the VFL. Coached Clarence in the Tasmanian State League. Coached the Box Hill Hawks for a little while there. At a very successful stint, and assistant coach of Hawthorn in the midfield as well. And today, for the first time, steps up to the senior duty.
And cheerio to Alistair Clarkson, who's no doubt watching from his hospital bed. We hope him
good luck,
the best, and wish him well to be back in a few weeks' time. But he might be moving a little uncomfortably at the moment with this scoreline.
Well, the good news is, Dwayne, I'm told he's at home.
Even better
good.
news.
Great news.
Okay, in the comfort of home watching this afternoon. Kennedy.
Not sure he'll be that comfortable right now, though.
Core. Well, that might make you a bit more comfortable. That's the best medicine, perhaps. Simpkin gets the call to go. Centering kick. He's okay to the hot spot. Puopolo jumped from 3 deep. Core again. Scully, good dangerous, but well worked. Shaw, under some pressure. Palmer, who started well. Good spoil. Gets it to the ground and wins his own. No, didn't clear it. Back to Simpkin. To Cheney. Top of the square. Again, the fist come from GWS.
Now, that kick, Reece Palmer did really well when the ball came out there. But when it was on the way out, he was second in line for it. What he has to do is read that ball coming that way and get closer to the boundary. So the ball goes between him and the boundary. He makes a play at it. If he doesn't get it, he pushes it over the boundary.
Every player in Hawthorn's half at the moment. Bruce gets it out to Shields, centering kick. Segler stands under it. Not clear by Moore. Smith lays a hip and shoulder. Again, this mad scramble. The chaos ball forward. And it was touched anyway. But collected and not dragged through. So Whitfield's back out there to Scully. And a wobbly torpedo towards Hoskin-Elliott. Good fly.
Just needs the boundary. There's 4 players there from Hawthorn. He's done well.
Oh, yes. Well done by Will Hoskin-Elliott. Got it to the line.
Yeah. Once again, even that one, he did super well, but he came from too deep. He's got to be closer to the boundary line so the ball goes in front of him. If he fumbles it over. And that risk of holding it in with 4 Hawks around him and reversing the direction of the ball goes back to Hawthorn is taken out of it.
Good signs from GWS at the moment. Ward towards the wing. Cameron down there against Schoenmakers. Down. Good hand off to DeRay. Now Sewell.
Well done, Smith again.
Segler. Oh, Crutch. He gets a free for that.
Would you allow Hodge to be a spare man, Dermot? I know they'd like to have an extra in defence as well, but Hodge is...
You don't want it, and if you have to give up one, he's going to be under that money, and you know he'll stand there. Yeah, you don't want him to be that one, but you want one at your end. So it's what you have to give up. You'd prefer to only, you know, it's the lesser of 2 evils.
Patton and Cameron both there. Patton had a piece of it. Towed off the deck by Ward, and again into some space. Sewell jumps in, nearly took his legs out. Cameron nearly worked. Virgil was waiting for it. Now Shields to Schoenmakers. Langford puts it to grass. And now he's under pressure, gets one high. Hands it off to Shields. Lead comes Gunston, used his hands and jumped on. Probably deserved the free there. Hawthorn fans certainly thought he did. Looked like it from here. And the clearing kick might not find the boundary.
How stiff was that?
Cheney, smother. And again taken to the line with some brilliance from Tomlinson. Will get a ball in.
Let's have a look at this one.
Yeah, it's probably in the back, is it?
Yeah, didn't fall on him, but did he actually motion him forward with the body pressure? It's a 50-50. Well, at least you know the way they're going to pay them.
Dylan Shield looks like he's going all the way with Sean Burgoyne, and they've got to lock down on Burgoyne. He is such a match winner.
I've got to ask you that one, Jared. That one there where the boundary umpire throws it in shallow and you're sitting in front to rove, and you get Mumford and his opposing ruckman charging at it, and you know that if the ball doesn't keep going from the throw-in, they trample you. Where do you go?
It's a bit like the old Tony Lockett situation. You just get out of the
way. Let's have a look at this one. See if we can get a bit more oomph into the throw. Otherwise, you see 115 kilos of Mumford and Johnny Segler tagging along. Give it something, mate. Otherwise, you'll kill these midfielders in front.
Mumford takes front position. Segler with the palm over the back.
Well done. Good hands. Good strong work by Hallahan.
Simpkin towards the Popolo, edged out of that contest. Smith, you know he's got the wheels. Oh, little flick on Hill. Being hunted down by Whitfield. The pressure's on him. He keeps it in front. Whitfield half went to ground. Hill still with the class. Takes him on. The push off. Touched. Simpkin gets told to play on. Caught. Back to Smith.
They're up for it. This is good pressure. Well done. Really hard work. Good foot pace by all involved from Hawthorn. They really, obviously, they really wanted in their end of the ground. And GWS were up for the challenge. That's great work.
Sewell tried to slick hands. Bruce dragged down, didn't really have it.
He's sure flirting with danger there. I mean, that is just right on the edge. I've got to say, though, I love Brad Hill's work. Whitfield was chasing, very good player, but he went to ground once. Hill, he looked to have better energy, had ball in hand, and he got away with it.
Treloar normally uses it well. He took some time to make sure he used it well there. Touched off Hoskin-Elliott's hands, kicked off the deck, back inside 50 again. That chaos ball, it sometimes works. Langford can't get it away, and now the cavalry arrives for GWS. They've got 8 players around this ball within handball distance. Not clear towards the goal line, and Kennedy takes it through.
That's why we've got padding round posts.
They're having a go. This is fantastic.
Well, they've had 24 tackles for the game so far, guys, and the intent that we didn't see last week was embarrassing. We know that, but the intent today, all around the ball, around the man, everything. They're just showing so much of it.
Driving kick to Mumford and Patton. Patton stayed down in the end. Simpkin outside of the boot. Oh, spilt by Tomlinson. Lays a tackle on Langford to Bruce. Little 1-2 with Puopolo. Runs into Shaw. Just got a drop kick away in time. Gunston dives in. Hale gets gang tackled.
Clever.
And dragged to the deck. This is not the same GWS we saw last week.
Clever by David Hale. He had to bend down to pick it up, and he stayed down hoping he could milk a head-high tackle. It's when you pick it up, and then you come up, and then you go back down, they'll say ducking the head. But if you're still down from picking it up...
Langford got his hands free. Simpkin another touch. Hill kept that alive. And again, GWS have numbers waiting for a pattern. Good score by Cheney, got it to ground.
Just got to see how the next 90 seconds. All young sides struggle with fatigue, and they've just started to make a few blues in this last 2 or 3 minutes. GWS, given the fatigue factor. Tomlinson, Dermot.
Yep.
You know him intimately. He's obviously got lots of ability, but he's got to tidy up those errors.
He didn't settle on the ball when he went to just mark it on the chest. He went to mark it like a dry day. Keep that in.
Trelaw
Not quite.
was
That's the type of
getting a possession.
Yeah, that's the type of every one of their exit kicks or attempted exit kicks over the last 90 seconds has missed the target.
Suckling, the long 60-metre bomb. Gunston flies. Segler was there. Another big thump towards the boundary line from GWS, and they've worked it well to get a ball in. 31 minutes gone. Long opening term given. We've had 7 goals scored. And who would have thought Greater Western Sydney coming off a 100-point plus thrashing at the hands of the Tigers last week at home, here away against the reigning premiers, could lead at quarter time. Hallahan dragged down. Good attacks.
Contact down below the knees, GWS.
Okay, so GWS and Ward, whose attack was exceptional there.
That's going to work for them. That was a really important ball for GWS. It gives them a chance to go forward of centre now in this last minute.
So Lamb drives it long, just spoiled away by DeRay from Palmer, and a good spot for a ball in with 50 seconds left.
See, Mumford's already at the boundary line throw in there, and Hale's chasing him up. He's actually moving pretty well. First game back after that 5-week layoff with the knee injuries. A little bit shabby last week, Big Shane Mumford, but he looks like he's better for the blowout of last week.
Yeah, he had a horror first game back last week from that knee injury. Nothing went right, and he only touched it 7 times.
That's a great tackle by Hale. When you've got your big blokes, your ruckman, tackling like that, you know you've got a championship team. That's great leadership.
Not a lot of ruckmen get their knees dirty.
That was brilliant stuff. There's a few out there, but that one stood out.
Oh, well right.
To Burgoyne. Bruce left it behind. Tomlinson, the pick on the run to Kennedy. We're down to 25 seconds. Heads wide. Moore, one grab, not the second. Litherland, good pressure on him. One-on-one battle. Tomlinson made it a 2-on-2. Simpkin keeps it alive. Seconds continue to roll. Scully takes it to the line. So a ball in with 11 left. Hawks are outside the top 4 right now. They're 6th on the AFL ladder. They need a win this afternoon to move back to probably 2nd spot. This is huge for them. They need to get their mojo back shortly. They're going to trail at quarter time here. To half forward. Down to 1 second.
That's a good quarter of footy.
Do not adjust your sets. That scoreline is correct. The Greater Western Sydney Giants up against the reigning premiers, the Hawks, lead at quarter time by 6 points. 4-2-26 to 3-2-20. Second term about to get underway.
Good bounce.
And Segler was favoured by that bounce.
I thought it was straight. It came towards us.
It was a good bounce if you were Segler. Inside 50 already for the Hawks off that. Hill tried to knock it away. Towed off the deck by Shaw.
Don't pay it.
And gets it toward the boundary, and it curls nicely. And Gunston kept it alive for a split second.
Gee, it shows you just the fine line. Is if that goes straight for another metre and goes over, there's a danger that could be paid as deliberate. But in the end, still in play.
Mumford, Segler, Trelaw. Back to Mumford.
It's done well.
Cameron needs to make a contest, and DeRay got there first.
Shellmaker's doing really well taking the front spot. He's blocking Cameron's run every time.
Sat up long. Segler's the leaper over the top, and the fist beat everybody from Frost out of play.
So Dermot, it's quarter time. You're Brendan Bolton. It's the first time you've been given an enormous responsibility, and you are 6 points down to the GWS. What's going through your mind, and what's the message to the Hawks?
3 deep breaths and say, don't panic. Don't do anything out of the ordinary. Just keep it going the way that the #1 coach would normally go, and demand that they play that way.
Phone call at half-time, and all is home. You're allowed to give him a call, see what he'd do. Ball knocked down to Hodge. Cheerio to Clarko. It'll get better, you'd think, from here. Birchall back inboard to Hill, who can get and go.
It's about to get better.
Absolutely. Oh, it was about to. DeRay just put that to the deck. Changed his mind after the ball drop. Schoenmaker's got down and dirty. Kick finds, unfortunately for him, Frost. And suddenly, GWS have possession again. Treloar, they can reset. They haven't really had a chance to do this yet in this quarter.
They're already static. As he looked up, the GWS boys were just static. He just kicked, hit and hoped.
Good fist again from Frost. It might just roll out.
Let's have a look at this.
He changed his mind
he
after
took a
the drop.
divot. He took a divot. You see that big one there?
Brendan Bolton.
It's good control by Brendan.
Yeah. He's winning that battle with his emotions, at least. Langford couldn't get it away. Segler can't get it away. It'll be, well, did he try hard enough? Umpire says, OK, we'll ball it up.
This is where Shane Mumford's very good, when he gets to stand side on to the ruckman at the ball up around the ground in wet circumstances. Boom, contact. Oh, third man up. You can't let that.
Oh, that was perfection. Langford to Burgoyne to Sewell to 6 points.
That's just brilliance all round.
Yep.
Brilliance all round. Langford's tap was extraordinary. It'll go in the ruck coaching manual to Burgoyne, who's had 2 important touches from clearances already in this term, and then that's just a great goal. A great goal under these pressure, under these circumstances.
Callum Ward, who's been tagged by Langford, would last expect. That'd be the last thing he expects. He's expecting contact to him, not his opponent to jump third man up.
Scores level again. Hawks did lead early in this contest. Opened up a goal lead twice.
Just gone flat. GWS. That ball that was sitting on the back flank from Frost, and he kicked down the line. It just showed me, it just told me that suddenly they've stopped working hard to run and create, and even run to not be used. You just have to give multiple options.
Townsend to Moore.
That's better.
It was a nice ball won by Townsend. Got in first, ended up dragging a tackle.
Whitfield.
Good work.
Scully.
That's your mark, right there.
And he'll hit the square. Cameron and Patton are down there. Cameron might have to go here and used his body illegally on DeRay, according to the umpire.
Yeah, we've got a camera on this battle for you, Dermot. We'll get your thoughts on Jeremy Cameron and how he's going about it at half-time.
Okay.
Sewell.
What they've done is they've awoken the giant in reverse terms, if you like. The Giants have, because the giant of the competition, Hawthorn, now know that there is a challenge.
Look at this down the line. Look at that to the left-hand side of Shane Mumford. They're keeping that open, so it's leading space, and they've got the option of going this way as well. But that's leading space to go out wide, and that's their dump-out option. And then the body mass going forward keeps it safe close to the line.
Suckling, there's that side drop and side swing of the leg to Hodge. It normally does work. Hodge straight down the middle. Missed his target. Shaw gets there first. To Scully. Hands free. Whitfield.
Oh, you got to do better.
Ugly kick. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, he had a little bit more time. He's got wonderful vision, young Lockie Whitfield, and need to be told he had a bit of space.
And makes up for that error.
Jeez, was that a throw?
Yeah, probably.
Curtly.
Tell you what, there's a great battle going on between Scully and Brad Hill. Hill coming off the ground now, but they are just doing 100-metre sprint after 100-metre sprint.
That was a good battle too. Hodge and Cameron went at that hard.
Let's have a look at Lockie Whitfield here. Let's have a look. Oh,
no, he got a left fist on it.
All you have to do in technical terms is touch it with the clenched fist.
Arm down towards Bruce for stolen.
Away the knees.
Gee, that was harsh, I thought. I don't think that was really there. I think they got a little jumpy there, the umpire, against Ward.
Well, the rule is it's got to be forceful enough to create an injury.
Callum Ward said,
or at least threaten to create an injury, and that was just getting the ball.
Yeah, he was bending down and picked the Sharon up.
Callum Ward said, who against?
Yeah.
Holding jumper. Hawthorn.
Okay, so Hale's free here. They can take the lead back and put the pressure back on Greater Western Sydney. Hale to launch it long. Roughhead's not down there. He's got the lead, of course. Gunston chopped off. Nice work. Moore. Hampton.
Oh, look, Kirtley.
Over the head of Smith. He might still be. He does. Beats three of them there. Gets it down towards Birchall.
Gee, that was good effort.
Handballs back towards Suckling. Palmer cuts him down, and that effort from Smith.
Yeah, and a good
gains
decision.
30 metres.
I won't lie to the Hawthorn fans, but that was absolutely deliberate.
It's a bit stiff, isn't it?
It was stiff, but it was deliberate.
Palmer towards Cameron. Almost Showmakers just got a palm on it, but there's some excitement in this game.
Yeah, he turned to the boundary and was always heading that way. That's probably what the umpire looked at. Raised eyebrow. Oh, you reckon?
Jed, we spoke about it at the start of the game, naming a couple of players at half-time if they weren't giving that competitive nature. Geez, Devon Smith, never name him, would you?
No, he's been good again today. He's consistent. He just turns up each time wanting to chew the Sharon.
Trouble here. Gunston tried the sidestep, caught, just got a handball. Segler bruised. He left it behind. A little untidy, but it'll work. Kick around the body from Hallahan, misses.
Oh, one down behind play down here.
Real challenge here for the GWS. They should have a look at this, because you see the boys on the right-hand side hopefully will get them there. You got more. They ran past the ball and they didn't want to attack the ball and support. There's Esau and others going past the footy because they expected it to go north or expected it to go towards the goals. You've got to go and attack the ball if it's still in dispute.
They all attacked it there. 6 players diving in. Umpire circling and says ball. Free kick GWS.
Stay, Robbie. I'm in zone. Robbie, stay there.
So Townsend to Hampton. Back again, the 1-2-3. Hampton needs to use it well and does this time. Whitfield.
And desperate to get off the ground. In fact, he's off the ground, Kirtley, before someone's ready to get on.
Yeah.
Ward.
Stay clear.
Slow build up. Jake's side on.
Cameron the target. Again, doesn't get a jump at it. Mumford went up as well. Just past Lamb. And he did what Suckling did. Hawk fans were onto it. Maybe didn't make it quite as obvious.
Except I don't think he really wanted the boundary line. When you've got it in your forward half, you want it alive.
Mumford. It does depend on where you do it sometimes. Smith, gang tackle, dragged down.
The ball's pushing Mumford away. Now he's got... Yeah, well, that's the way he was already running. He didn't turn for the boundary line.
Treloar. Good spot to hit. Off hands. Palmer just gets it over the top. Cameron, there's the flick on again.
Knock it forward.
Patton, Lamb,
Brilliant
Suckling.
play. Well read from Suckling. Really well read. It was another couple of opportunities, and this is the counter-attack.
What a great release kick to Smith. It didn't want to just go. He waited for Litherland. He has to wait for the bounce, but now it's on. He's got a couple of options. Gunston's one of them. Segler's the other. Over their head. Running back. Gunston, Bruce, Shaw. He went for the boundary, and that was too obvious. Way too obvious from an experienced player who puts his hand up.
No, it was good for the crowd, though. Dwayne, it's been a bit cold here, and they've warmed up, Hawk fans.
Gunston pokes that to the square and Bruce.
That's too easy.
That was the GWS we saw last week.
Yeah. Gee, that's not where he marked it. That is not where he marked it. No, that's being over officious and
won't make much difference, though. Players of this age generally do this like shelling peas.
yeah.
And there's the peas. Hawks back in front.
Well, it was just a great rebound. Reece Palmer did some really good work at the other end of the ground. to set it up, and then the rebound from Suckling was superb. And Reshaw's got to read the play, and he didn't read it then. Sorry, that'd be Heathshaw, because the umpires are already savage on it. They were looking for a square up, and they got one.
Who's had the most, I suppose, likeable Indigenous round jumper so far, Dwayne?
I like the jumpers where you can instantly recognise your club, even though it's Indigenous round. The Hawthorn, I'd like the Hawthorn jumper to look a little bit more Hawthorn-like, if you know what I mean.
Well,
Langford dragged.
The Fremantle one for me looks fantastic.
And you could recognise it was Fremantle.
Yep.
Hacked wide by Shaw. Tomlinson.
There's a chance.
I'm no expert on Indigenous art, though. Dermot Treloar flicks it back to Frost. That is a great initiative, and that's Townsend's free for too high.
Well, he keeps on attacking the ball, this Townsend.
He won't do anything else.
He's got to make sure he hits targets.
Yeah.
Hampton to Hill. Gunston, unselfish.
Oh,
Roughhead puts it to grass.
well done, Jakes.
Still a chance. Burgoyne flicks it over. Langford. Caught by Smith, who just raked the hand down. Wasn't a handball. Play on advantage.
Lamb's
Long
got to go
hammer.
hard.
Bouncing ball to Lamb. Birchall. Lamb. Litherland. Off the deck from Birchall. Open space. Moore should get there first. Good collect on the run. Handball not so good. Cheney taken to the line by Whitfield.
Got to say, Timmy Moore being in the team, Moons, you'd see the size and shape down back. Timmy Moore just being in that back line gives them a big presence, gives them a big body. He's no Steve Silvani, but that big mature body's got to help the young lads.
No, you're spot on, Dermot. Just saw him there. He's just got some serious toe for a big man, doesn't he? And you need that when you've got big key forwards down the other end who are quick on the lead. You just need someone who's been there to be able to just put a hand in and make sure they get a spoil, make sure you're not getting marks against inside 50.
They need to have someone stand up and have a presence inside forward 50. At the moment, Jeremy Cameron just can't buy a footy.
Hodge left it behind. Hoskin Elliott, he could go for goal. Kept it low. It's all about the dribble. Birchall read it okay. Wants to drag it through deliberately without making it look obvious.
Which is unusual, Dwayne, because the players know they can actually just kick the ball across the line. As long as there's a scintilla of pressure, which there was, you don't have to fumble it across, just kick it across.
Oh, you want to give the umpire every reason not to give you a deliberate though, Jared.
Oh, Suckling could have been 50. Curly Hampton looked to have plucked it from his grasp. Suckling wants that sidewards kick. He heads to Hodge, who heads to Cheney.
Got the one over.
Showing makers can go if he wants to.
Puopolo working hard, really hard work here.
Not quite the kick that he wanted, though. Hallahan, Sewell. Puopolo gets it in the end. He's got a Hale forward, who's got the reach, you would think. Jacks was there, and big fist from Hoskin Elliott. Frost gathers on the run.
Did well.
To Whitfield. Down the middle to Shield, and he can go. Shaw's wide.
Now this is where there's no half forward coming at him. He's got it. Yeah, that's a great kick. But now the half forward line's filled up with smaller players, whereas you get a half forward from that other side of the ground lead up, he blows his opponent away. Cameron's down there. He's got Hodge. They're undersized. The defenders are, but now the whole sway of the body mass of the pack will come across. Cameron will have a run at it, but not enough.
Fist.
That one is from 75, 80 metres away. As a forward, you just have to bust a gut to get to that side of the ground and demand the ball down the line.
Puopolo edged out of that, and Lamb went and got it. Gives it up nicely to Scully on the left. Centering ball. Tomlinson's down there. Rough head. Half a knuckle on it. Palmer, it just bounced unkindly, and Suckling's away to Litherland. Hunted down by Smith. Pressure on the handball. Hill has a panic. Who does he want? Can come inboard to Simpkin. And Simpkin's got a paddock now to Burgoyne.
Jeremy Patton has just got to start charging down and get an extra number down there.
Didn't charge hard enough, Jared.
Well, not for mine, Jonathan Patton, I should say, but he's in the ruck. He has got to add the extra midfield. At the moment, they also look like they need an extra big body up in the forward line, and perhaps Cameron can go into the middle of the ground and do some ruck work, because at the moment they need a target for pressure kicks like the last one we saw Scully take.
So this is a good spot to have the ball now. That slow turnaround. Now Hawthorn are set behind them, but you just see the GWS boys drifting away. There's got to be purpose on the run here.
Cameron's got 3 to beat here.
Well, that's just a non-kick. Seriously, that is just
Stupid
going
kick.
nowhere.
Letherland under some pressure. Sewell. And now Hill. Simpkin. Sloppy kick. Jacks gets on the end of it with a fierce, almost marked his own spoil. Ward again goes hard. He's been a genuine great contributor ever since he went to the club. Callum Ward couldn't make something of that. Suckling flicks it wide. Nice pass too. And Smith can line up from there if he wants to.
Danger time now.
Yeah.
8 minutes and a bit to go. They're looking as if they're starting to fatigue the Giants.
Haven't kicked a goal this quarter, which is 17 minutes old.
Hawthorn look as if they could put a bit of a spread on right now.
Central kick and no one in the hole. Rough head easily.
Young Christian Jakes is he's a key forward by nature, but he's been spending a bit of time down back. Number 34, he's on the mark now. He just gave up on the lead, believing that it's only going to be barely a 15-metre kick. He won't hit it to him.
But it's opened it up by about 25 degrees.
Hey, league football, they will. The good teams will kick the eyes out of it.
He's missed.
Except on that occasion.
It's easy to forget. Hawthorn's lost their last 2 games as well coming into this, so their form was a little iffy as well. They'd be trying to get themselves out of a small hole, not as big a hole as GWS has been in the last 2 weeks with their 2 losses, but a hole nonetheless. So they need to resurrect their season quickly before they slip down the ladder, and they're outside the top 4 right now unless they can get up today.
Gotta love that. Hodge seeing he's going to get the ball, he's going to be tackled, and he thinks, well, yeah, I'll get tackled, you'll take me over the line, so you might as well cop a bit of a bump while you're tackling me, and thrusts into the tackler.
Mumford back onto the ground. He's a big body. He's an experienced player. Obviously, they need him out on the ground.
Good tackle. Townsend dragged him down. Almost could have been rewarded.
Holding.
Yeah, Townsend's given good pressure at the moment. The thing he's got to look at, he's just exiting screen right now, is he hasn't got the world's best tank if they want him to play in the midfield, but he's a brute of a kid. I said before, the softest thing about him is his teeth.
Jared, we just see Jonathan Patton get the ball. I know Mumford's just come back on into the ruck. He needs to push forward. We've spoken about when they've gone in forward, they've just got nothing, and Jeremy Cameron's been smothered.
Yeah.
This isn't a great one being out in the full either, but going inside 50, they just have no other targets. When Mumford's in the ruck, Patton and Cameron really have to do a lot of harder work and really come at the ball carrier a little bit more. Just give them some options.
Yep.
Litherland tucked into the gutter. About to tick into time on this second turn to Birchall.
It's good hands from Birchall. It's a slippery ball. It's coming at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's a killer kick.
Yeah, to Hill. Now Gunston's leading long. He goes shorter to Simpkin. Gunston still leading back to the square. Shields might just go all the way home.
Pulled it.
Yep.
Let off the hook there, the Giants. Gee, that's a beautiful kick from Birchall. And Hill came from the opposite wing. He was out there, and his opponent was thinking, it's going to go retreat to the goal screen. It'll come out that door. He'll meet it on the wing, but what he did then, he just sneaked forward through the middle of the square to receive that, and it opened up the territory.
Hawthorn by 7 points. If you weren't with us earlier, Greater Western Sydney led at quarter time by 6 points, and at one stage led by 12 points.
They've lost their avenue to goal, though, GWS. They're not getting the ball deep enough. It's getting turned around the 55 to 45 metre mark, and anything that's going deeper than that is an absolute scraggy scrap ball going forward.
They've tried to edge it forward, though. In the first quarter, they were running it forward. They were taking on the challenge through the middle. It seems to me the fatigue has crept in pretty early, and they're playing a safe brand, which against Hawthorn will be eventually exposed.
Whitfield just got his hands clear. Smith tried to flick a handball out, cut off by Litherland. Good
Great
smother
effort.
on Suckling by Palmer. Whitfield dragged down. This is the effort we saw from GWS first quarter. No one's in the square. Smith sees that opportunity, puts it over Cameron's head. It might roll, tumble. It's a goal. It's a one-point game again.
It's exactly what we said, Jared. Just as you finish the sentence, the one time for the quarter, in time on, they get run from the wing to half forward line, and they get the really good pressure from both teams. Tackle, dismissal, take it off the opposition, and then they run it to 55. Open forward line, skim through.
Well, it's always going to skid straight on a wet day, so that's the one thing you got going for you. Looked inside, saw the goals.
Having a good day, Devon Smith. He's got 2 on the board from his 13 disposals already, Hawthorn. Just the solitary point ahead now.
And that was deemed to be in danger. Ward kicked that from mid-air when Langford was around it. Didn't agree with the decision, but they are out here. Gunston with plenty of room to move.
That's terrible.
He might restore the 7-point buffer. Loads up Longy, got plenty of shoe on that. That's out of here.
That is a rookie error. They all came out of that middle, the GWS boys, and as soon as they heard the free kick, they ran the straight line to the goal square. Look at them. They're all coming down the spine, and they don't even bother to look to the southern side. Good kick. That's the Healy half-forward flank.
Yeah. Well, the question's going to be from the Giants midfield forward defensive coach, where the hell did Gunston come from? Who's going to take responsibility? Because you just can't allow for him to slide up and present as an opportunist.
Well, looks like he's starting on the wing at the moment, Jared, so he may have just been there, and looks like young Lockie Whitfield that may have been on him, so may have just got a little bit caught up and ran back, as you said, and just left him out there daydreaming.
Or you might have an experienced player who's just sneaked away and said, hey, young Lockie.
Was that high? Was that high and reportable? He's okay. That's the good news for Roughhead. He said himself, Jeremy Cameron.
Yep. Reported him.
Okay, did he say I've reported him then? Yeah, he did clip him a little.
Forearm first.
Yeah, forearm first. So it wasn't hip and shoulder, it was forearm.
The shoulder, the hip did the damage.
On the way through, the second part?
Yeah, it was just a clip with the arm where it was hanging out there.
So he's cooked?
Gee, well, he's going down to the ball and he ran at him. He didn't have his head over the ball.
Hale forward. Hodge flicks it up. Smith tucked into the pocket. Jeez. Magnificent. That's the Hawthorn we know.
And so all of a sudden a goal turns to the Giants, turns into 2 goals to the Hawks. It's amazing how sometimes a goal can distract you, and you're right, he got a double whammy there, the arm and then the hip. But fortunately he's up and about, and this is just brilliant play by the skipper, who's gone from the back half to the forward half, goes to ground, flips it up. Brilliant goal.
Wasn't that good? Super snap across the body that way.
Jeremy Cameron guys just came off holding that left arm, left wrist. You see him there in the hands of the doctors. Didn't look too flush the way he was holding it as he was coming off.
That's how hard Jared Roughhead's head is.
There's a fair bit of neck muscle to hold that head steady, isn't there? He's got about a 44 centimetre or 46 centimetre neck. He's a beast.
Not funny for Jeremy Cameron, who hopefully is not done for the day. They need him out there. Scully caught. Dying stages of this second term after they did lead by 2 goals. GWS, they're now down by a couple. 13 points, the biggest margin of the game for either team. Shield, long. Patton needs to be the man now. He's up.
Good presentation, though. Big body in front of the pack and kept it down softly in front.
Palmer's been superb. Opens it up. Hoskin Elliott. Well, he spent that before he'd earned it and mops that mess up beautifully.
Oh, my God. That's doing it the tough way.
As long as you get it done, though, Dermot, doesn't matter.
I've got to say, look at the... we might get a look at the pattern presentation in the mark, because that was a big body in front, very clever in the end, but you really want to take that first time. Have a look here, see if there's a... Ooh, might have been one on that.
Didn't call for the replay.
Now, look at this. That's a great effort by Jonathan Patton just to get the big body in front, and it made a soft drop rather than allowing the fist to take it right over the boundary. Yeah, Jared, I reckon they might have got a little bit of Jack Gunston hand on that.
A little bit of skin. Fingernail, but inconclusive.
Well, they didn't go for the replay, so they wouldn't know.
Well, he complained. He said, I got it.
I know, but you only can be conclusive if you go to the replay, and it is conclusive. 47-40.
There are some teams that appeal as much as cricketing sides on the subcontinent.
Oh, so it's the cry wolf syndrome. All defenders now have to make out they didn't touch it to get it reviewed.
Well done to the skipper, Callum Moore, just getting the ball from the stoppage and hitting a target on the outside.
Cheney. Litherland. They've got some inexperienced players out there, the Hawks. Here's another Duryea, and he fumbles it. For the record, they don't have Lewis today. He was a late withdrawal. There's Cameron getting some work on his wrist as if he's coming back on. But
upper forearm.
No Lewis, no Stratton also was out of the selected 22 today. So they joined Lake Rioli, Mitchell, Gibson, McAvoy and Whitecross on the boundary line for this one. Puopolo and Hampton both went at it. Hale, arms free, Shields, gang tackled, no prior opportunity, so that will be a ball up.
They're just having a look at Sam Frost there at that stoppage. His man was side by side and the ball came loose and his man charged up and put the pressure on. Sam's got to block that bloke because in blocking him, he gives his teammate a chance to pick the ball up and take it forward.
But the other thing about that, Jared, too, is his teammate then learns to trust him. And if you ever hear Sam Frost's voice saying, I've got you, you know you can back into the ball and you're going to be protected. You've got to learn to trust teammates.
Well, he's got a challenge there on Puopolo, who's going to have him clearly covered for pace. So he's got to be thinking. He's got to have his head right in the second, not the minute, right in the second. Otherwise, he'll just get stitched up completely.
Look, if those two, Frost and Puopolo, have a pure foot race, Frost is going to cover him. But in agility stakes, Puopolo is going to turn him around. But Frost is seriously quick over the long straight.
Hodge gets his own crumb and then wobbles one to half forward. So the bouncing ball, Whitfield to mop it up and does brilliantly. Kick needs to be good. Shield stands under it, takes a good mark, back with the flight.
It was a good effort by Whitfield. He made up for his teammates blue and then produced a really good kick.
Oh, Hampton, a poor fumble. Puts Treloar and now Kennedy under some pressure. Palmer, good use of the body. Cheney turns on Palmer, gets the kick away. Now Hampton gets a chance to rise. Kennedy also rises with Segler. Shields to half forward. Roughhead makes a contest. Frost got there first. Stolen by Simpkin. Little knock on Birchall. Close to the boundary and keeps it in. Hawks have the runners. It opens up for Puopolo if he wanted. Simpkin didn't want him. He goes central. Top of the square. Roughhead. Arm slap, no free. Jacks gets the handball away. Now no advantage paid here. It'll come back.
Just been watching one of the most talented players, I think, in the league, Curtly Hampton. He's now on the back flank. And his man ran in with Hawthorn. He went for this ball you called down on the half-forward flank. Now, I'm a rap for Curtly, but he's giving no work ethic at the moment. He is the best balanced player in the league at the moment. Nobody balances, hits the ground better than him. He's very David Rees-Jones-like, but he's just not giving the required work ethic at the moment.
Has he plateaued the last 2 years, Dermot?
Oh, he's had some good games earlier this year.
But they're spaced, aren't they?
They are. It's all to do with work ethic. He's a serious talent. By God, he's unbelievably good.
Cheney. 1 minute left to half-time. Hawks by 7. If you'd have asked GWS before the game, would you take it? They'd probably take it, trailing by 7 at the half. But they did lead by 2 goals. Long kick, rough head. Big leap. Puopolo, good wrap-up tackle. Wasn't high, kept the ball in the area. Now Hawthorn fans want a free. Take your pick in the back, jumped on round the neck. They wouldn't have minded which.
It all came under the mugging rule, didn't it? Trouble was that the umpire was blocked by about 12 players. Yeah, there was a couple of head eyes there and a bit of in the back, but the umpire wasn't going to be able to pay it because he was had his vision blocked.
30 seconds left. And we'll get a ball in offhand, so a good spot for a ball in for the Hawks.
They've got to get to half-time with belief that they can hang in this contest and hopefully something breaks for them in the second half. They have to hold the Hawks out here.
The scramble. Bruce off the deck. Seconds start rolling down. And it'll be coming back. Cheney, so they'll get one last roll of the dice, although Cheney goes a long way back to Litherland. We're down to 6 seconds. To DeRay. They probably need a mark from this kick. Pumps it long. Top of the square. Hales down there. The fists come. Siren sounds. And they'll take this. Greater Western Sydney. The all-conquering Hawks. The reigning premiers, albeit with a long list of players out, under some pressure at half-time to get the win that would put them back to second spot on the AFL ladder. 6-4-40 GWS. The Hawks 7-5-47.
The quarters have been scintillating to say the least this year, so look out Dylan Shield.
Yeah, his finishing has been in final series has been exceptional.
Mumford and Segler in the ruck, and Mumford has the edge on experience there. Wins the palm down. Suckling tried to knock it on off the grass by Birchall towards the wing. Whitfield content to get a ball in because they do have a slight advantage in the ruck with Mumford.
So who are the game breakers that you'd be looking forward to chopping the opposition up here for the Hawks? Dermot, Hill's got to be one.
Well, Hill's a line breaker. Burgoyne's so strong. He doesn't look like a beast of any sort, but he's 6'2" and he's around the 14-stone mark. He's a powerful, powerful midfielder with a beautiful sidestep and real good pace off the mark. Oh, there's a skim off one head onto the other. That's a double falcon.
Don't see it that often, but again, it was Shield who is doing a really good job on Burgoyne. First contest, he gets a kick away.
Mumford, little flick down, and the clearance from Palmer, and inside 50. Cameron's down there with Patton. Showmakers kept it in front. Good wrap up by Townsend. Ball up.
Another one to look at there. You see Patton and Cheney on screen there. Patton's around 6'5". Cheney, as we know, is around the 6'1", 6'1.5" mark. So he's going to outreach him. If he can get isolation, he's going to outsize him and outreach him.
Shield gets that chance, bends it around beautifully. That's there. It's a one-point game.
Well, almost on cue, the size of Patton is able to stand up as the ball came to him and not get taken to ground and shovel the handball out in the right direction.
But your point that you make about Cameron doesn't apply there. He just got drawn to the ball, didn't he? He took the front spot. And maybe right now it's look out Sean Burgoyne, because Dylan Shield has got them away. Well done by Jonathan Patton. Excellent work.
Has a spell.
Such a professional young man, Dylan Shield. He works diligently. Off field, he's fantastic, Dwayne, the way he applies himself, and he's going to be a big name in this comp.
Well, I saw him last week against the Tigers, had 34 possessions. He was one of the few shining lights of the 34 possession game, and need to get him back out there quickly. They're in this game. 1 point the margin, and Mumford almost got the clearance. It went backwards in the end. Whitfield
gets to the outside quickly. Whitfield, he reads that ball that comes out.
Smith, nice hand inboard to Whitfield. Treloar, who left that behind. Birchall, Sewell, Suckling just pops that past to Segler, and now the runners come. Hodge, time to use it wisely. Smith, Cheney, Patton just half corralled him, allowed that kick. Now Scully has a good chance here. Tackled, wrapped up. Hallahan couldn't get it away towards Smith, but it comes out that way anyway through Lamb's boot. Showmakers tucked up against the boundary. Cameron with some pressure on the kick. Attack from Frost, but he left it behind. He had an air swing.
Can't let that get through.
Hill, caught, dragged down by Shaw.
That's the sort of stuff you expect from Heath Shaw. He's had plenty of possessions, made a couple of blues, but all in all, he's been a pretty good producer for the Giants. But you just can't allow Sam Frost to allow that ball to go through. That was almost a killer blow.
You're allowed to use nicknames, Jared.
Thank you.
Even though it's his brother's name. Hampton. We talked about him a bit, and he's turned it over again.
Got to hit that target.
Birchall, that's 50. Gee, fake to play on.
Before he played on,
Tomlinson took the fake, sucked in, and a shot at goal.
4 metres forward.
Harsh, but probably there.
Well, let's see what the umpire said. He was 4 metres over. So he pulled up.
He didn't go to where the mark was taken.
back.
He just went to it. The
Birchall
intercept where he was.
shimming the hips, though.
It was the right decision, though. He didn't go to where the mark was. Because Birchall took that running away from his own goal. And so the momentum takes him 3-4 metres back from where the true man on the mark should be. The correct decision.
And it caught a finger on the way through. That's a ricochet for a touch behind. That's hard to believe from there. But that's the value of putting your hands up on the mark and doing your job.
Man the mark.
Yep, you teach kids, damn it. That's one of the first rules you ever teach.
Yeah, it's like doing up your laces. And we see so many. Oh, that's a brave kick. A good strip.
Just not sure why you necessarily, under these circumstances, would go for that level of difficulty with the kick. Is the touched?
Yeah, he doesn't put his hands up and jump there. No. He doesn't touch it.
He celebrated with the touch.
Well, it's as good as a goal.
Yeah, he's a terrific kid.
(48-46). The Hawks, they look as if they're in control. If you took the scoreboard away, it would, for all intents and purposes, look like their game. But that scoreboard tells you the real story. GWS in this. Burgoyne.
So good.
Langford. And Burgoyne set it all up.
So good.
It is ingenious round.
Well, I've got to say, Dermot, if you've been given a role, and the role is to basically keep Burgoyne from having an influence, why you get taken off the ground is beyond me. I know he kicked a goal. He's still on the bench, is Dylan Shield, and his man executes a little bit of magic to create a goal. So he's got a new opponent. The new opponent sort of gave him some respect, but he hasn't got skin in the game like Dylan Shield's got.
See, that side-on angle showed that, yeah, Dylan Shield's on the ground now. But he's not against Burgoyne at this point in time. But also, we saw once again Kirtley let Langford go. He stood shoulder to shoulder, and by the time Langford kicked the goal, he was 3 metres away from him.
Treloar drives it long. Just too wide for Patton. Still there for him to make a contest, and he didn't. Slapped down to Litherland by Schoenmakers to the wing.
Hold on.
Whitfield got there, made the ground and made it his.
Oh,
Got Treloar forward. Needs to be a good kick, G. It is. Oh, played on into trouble. Patton just loping towards that. Is he injured or just spent? Jonathan Patton.
No, he's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably a bit jaded.
Early stages, third term. 8 points the margin. Now 30 players inside GWS is attacking 50. Roughhead tried to get it out. Segler gives it back. Half smother, but it ricochets nicely to Simpkin. Flicks it wide. Hale. Bouncing ball. Good gather.
And he went wide because there was absolutely no one forward of the ball. And this is quite brilliant the way Hawthorn have maintained possession.
Puopolo to Shields. He's got Gunston forward short if he wants him. He goes even shorter than that to Simpkin.
4 metre pass.
Yeah, but it works. That doesn't. Cut off by Moore.
Well, they're fortunate there because at that stage it was Tim Moore versus Sean Burgoyne. That's danger.
Sure.
Yeah, it only needs to be below eyesight level, and Timmy Moore's going to have a job on his hand.
Core. Oh, that's danger. In fact, that's horrendous to Simpkin.
He's got a good kicking action, Aidan Core, but he does tend to turn it over. Sometimes there's been a few blokes like that along the journey who have Nice skill, nice action, but they just don't hit the target.
Good fist from Lamb. Stopped a certain mark there to Hale. Good wrap-around tackle. Umpire waiting and circling. Allows play to run on allows Hill to run. Throws it out. Rough head from the 50. Yeah, Core is an Irishman who's come to the game, but he did play for the Northern Knights here in Victoria for a while before he made his way onto Greater Western Sydney's list.
He's a talent.
That had nothing to do with kicking style. It was just a really bad decision. It was like blindness down there.
Beautiful hands. Very good overhead, Aidan Core.
Kennedy gets his chance. Just hanging in by the skin of their teeth, GWS now. Rough head. Mumford, good contest by Big Mummy. Second game back from a knee problem. Had a tough afternoon at the office last week. First game back, better this week.
Professional spoil, that one. Big, he's a right-hander, but he uses the left hand, so it shapes towards the boundary. He gets a chance to reset. Everyone gets a chance to stand shoulder to shoulder, and you know where you start from.
We've got Tim Moore and Heath Shaw out the back with no opponent.
Hill, Burgoyne, central ball, bouncing ball. Gunston, the flick on just over Hill's head. Whitfield, a roller. Oh, how's that for a pick? Just didn't quite get it on the run. Tomlinson, Scully dragged down.
Great tackle by Hallahan.
Short to a one-on-one. Good battle that, and the fist from Hoskin Elliott takes it to the line.
Well, they've had good contributions from both Tom Scully and Reece Palmer through the middle of the ground, and it's one of the reasons why they're in touching distance of Hawthorn right now. But you'd reckon they'd need the next goal just to make sure that they don't let that gap get too wide.
Sewell, and that's very un-Sewell-like.
Sewell swinging onto the left foot is un-Sewell-like.
Yeah, just his second game back for 2014 after his first one last week, so he might be like Mumford, a little rusty.
Now they've got extra players on here. Now what's going on at this end of the ground, that's fine, but it's about the half forwards who need to work out to the outside to get on the end of this.
And does it work for them? To the middle, Hoskin Elliott to Whitfield. He's got Shaw as his outside runner. Used the fake to perfection, and now Cameron needs to complete the deal.
Look. Yeah. See, when you're out of form, you're almost relieved when you take the mark and think, phew, I've got it. Whereas if he had got back, you know, it had been halfway through last year, he'd have got back and he'd have just swung that ball into his teammates standing in the goal square by themselves. So now he's obligated to kick the goal.
But the good key forwards just go back in this situation and kick the goal. And he's kicked many a goal in his career. Not bad. That's coming back. Delightful. 2 points in it.
And that's why he's out there. Wouldn't be surprised if he's got a crack in that forearm, but they've strapped him up, and they'll deal with that at the end of the day's proceedings. But this was really good midfield work. This is a horrendous kick from Frost, and he is lucky that his teammates made up for that horrendous kick, because there was 4 Hawks sweating. Whitfield's a star. He knows where players are. Cameron didn't work too hard for that. He just stood there, and it was delivered first class on the chest. But he went back and he slotted it, and that's the reason he's out there, because if he can get half a dozen touches, then there's 3 or 4 goals.
Well, he was benefited by Palmer running into the forward line, because Litherland split the difference between and that's how he got the easy chest mark without moving.
And can they take the lead back? There's belief out there again. Another Shield tackle to hold it in.
Well, they're up to 67 tackles. It's not everything tackling, but it does give you a read on the intent.
Bruce couldn't quite. And ball free kick, and is that 50? No, luckily.
No, it's a good decision for the umpire.
The ball.
More officious umpire might have said no. Letter of the law is you kicked it after the whistle, but no one knew where that free kick was going.
Cheney allowed to run free off half back. Heads to Bruce.
What sort of kick is that? Dermot, I've always thought, and you played in 5 premierships, that there are players in premiership sides or premiership teams that should be rewarded who don't actually play on the day. And I'm talking about your premiership medallions. Somebody like a Kyle Cheney has been so important to Hawthorn this year, and yet if everybody's available, he may miss out.
Yeah, he's #1 who exits, yeah.
And yet, if in fact you go on and win the flag, or I should say Hawthorn go on, he needs a medal.
It's a great talking point, isn't it? I mean, he arguably helps them get there. Not arguably, he does help them get there along the way.
You could argue that last year. He played 4 games last year in their premiership year.
Yeah, and he's been leaned on this year for the absolute key backline post, and he comes up against the behemoth in Tommy Hawkins, and out he goes, and understandably so. He was outsized, but he's been very, very valuable for them.
And Hale has been subbed out. Cameron Mooney downstairs.
Sorry, he has. Yeah, Hartung's come on. Just trying to find out what it is exactly what's going on with Hale. But the sub has been made, guys.
Billy Hartung is a very, very good running player. Super quick and serious endurance.
Would that have been part of the plan all along, to get a big man out for a small man?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yep, they did that all last year. We know that Max Bailey had knee problems and they rucked him out each game.
Here's Billy.
There he is on cue. Didn't quite work for him.
Good pressure again from the Giants.
And he gives the free kick away. He is overzealous. You'd think, just coming on as the sub, you want to get into it. His closed down speed was against him there. Devon Smith.
And I'm not sure why things are going so slowly. They're just going to chip it up. That's fair enough. But Devon Smith could have wheeled on rather than pushing Billy in the chest, and got them under some pressure before they set up a 400-man defence.
Got to pop it up on Mumford here. Doesn't get to it.
Big leap. Hoskin Elliott again. That's 2 today.
The kid can jump. He's, as I said, he's a serious set of wheels covering the ground, and then he's very, very good overhead.
We're seeing different elements of the forward line, Dermot, today, where the split has been relatively even. It hasn't been a one-sided affair.
Yep.
And some of these youngsters are coming to the fore.
Short pass, and it opens up nicely.
So
there's some nervous signs here, you'd think, if you're a Hawthorn fan. They do seem to have this game in their keeping, and yet Smith kicks this goal. It's a 2-point game, and the later we get into the game, the more chance GWS have of causing, well, the second biggest upset of the year. They did that round 1, caused the biggest.
Well, this bloke ain't dishing off.
No, and he normally finishes well. Looks okay off the boot. He's got the carry. And there's 2 points in it again.
Well, KB's a beauty. He does deliver 99 times out of 100, but as we said, do not run past for a handball within 30 metres of goal. But this kid's got talent, and this is
body touch.
The most exciting thing about the Giants. We've forgotten how much potential they have got, and maybe they've forgotten. They've added some work rate to ability today, and all of a sudden they're in the game.
Well, guys, Hawthorn, GWS have also made their sub. Aiden Core coming off with Dylan Addison coming on for his first run, which is an interesting one considering how well their key defenders have been doing down there with all the inside 50s that they've had against them.
Yeah, they were dropping their Hale obviously forward on a lot of occasions, which meant that him coming off, they can do without one 6'3", 6'4" defender against them.
In fact, they become too slow, don't they, and too cumbersome, unless they do make the replacement. But there is Hale getting a little bit of work on the quads. Not sure if that's any reason why he's come from the ground.
Well, the beautiful thing about Dylan Addison, he can play forward or back. He can play forward as that defensive forward who puts on the pressure, or he can go back and play on Sewell, who he's manning up on at the moment.
And he gives them a lift in intensity again when fatigue could be coming into the game for them.
Scully to half forward. There's a free kick here. They could take the lead. No, it's not to Cameron. It's against him. Suckling.
Puopolo dangerous. Just starting to lose a few of their midfield tags here, the Hawks.
This game's up for grabs. Sewell, corralled by Kennedy, goes inboard through the hands of Langford. So Ward to set it up. Goes to Hampton, who owes them 1 or 2. Heads wide to Kennedy, tucked up against the boundary. Nice delivery. 2 points in it. We're about to tick into time on third term. And they're a kick from the lead. They did lead by 13 points earlier today.
This is where Patton's got to hit up at this. They're going to be the short one here. Cameron's got on the lead. That's the third lead he's given there. He saw.
Yeah. wouldn't be surprised if there's a crack, but they've actually taken away maybe the interchange that they're going to need, or the rotation substitute that they may need for this kid if he gets another knock on.
Sits it up, Patton, and Mumford this time. Off hands, Palmer opens it up. Shaw runs in, and they're in front. GWS in front. Now there's claims here.
I believe it's a goal. I want to check to see if the ball hit the post or not.
Well, Shaw was 100% sure.
I'll check it hit the post.
Umpire's called goal.
Umpire's called goal. He just wants to be double sure.
Well, there's a few Hawks put their hands up. It's going to have to do a bit of work late if it doesn't hit the post.
It's online now.
Oh, yeah.
You can't overturn that.
No, that's a goal.
There's a few Hawthorn fans at home. Alistair Clarkson heard it.
It's hit the goal, hasn't it?
You reckon?
Yeah.
Hit the post.
Hit the post.
Oh, the parallax error, Jared. I think.
I don't reckon it
It
has.
just looks like it's
It hits
moved.
the post.
Really?
Well, it may be inconclusive, but my eyes tell me it hit the post.
I'm with you, Jared. I think it just nicked it, but I'm not sure if they'll overturn it on that.
A little bit of paint on the ball.
Once again, you need. Oh, hang on, yeah, from that angle. Yeah, just.
There's a slight deviation.
There is an ever so slight deviation.
I reckon you can tell also by Heath Shaw's celebration. It was probably 10% over the top.
Oh, touched off the post. Overturned. You guys are better than I.
I took some convincing, but I eventually jumped on.
You were late. I just refused. I stuck to my guns.
We know your personality. though.
DeRay. You can't be wishy-washy in these situations. Make your mind up and stick with it. 59 to 60. There's a point in it.
It's a pivotal moment, though, right now. There's an opportunity that has gone begging. So they've been robbed of a little bit of momentum. The issue is that they concede a goal the other way to create a double jeopardy.
Back in.
Hawthorn sneaking out the back. If the ball gets over here from Puopolo, he's off.
Burgoyne bangs it. Roughhead sets himself. Gunston. There's no one in the square. If it sits, he can have a shot. He didn't. He was in two minds, and Frost takes him to the line.
That's that big pace.
Oh, the umpire. What are you doing?
Can't do it.
Per Frost. Free kick to Gunston. Short, and it might work. The footy gods are here.
Oh, look out.
Strange contest at the moment. Smith.
Well done.
Treloar off the deck. Rolls to Langford. Hands it up. Hawthorn bumped out of it. Jumps back into it.
Yeah, that takedown on Gunston on the pocket, that's that big amount of pace. When in a straight line, Frost is as quick as anyone in the comp.
Scully.
Well, it was a big ask by Tom Scully, but he's got away with it because right now the slippery ball is bringing a lot of players back to the field, and the Giants are actually coping with the slippery ball as well, if not better.
You can sense their belief here. Off hands, can they get the spillage? Segler caught.
Pack tackle.
Yeah, and no prior opportunity.
What a great sign. What a great sign for GWS. They're up tackles, Jared. They're at 76. They average 70, 72 a game.
Still waiting for Moons to alert us to the time in this match when he genuinely believes that the Giants can win. He told me before the match he would do so.
It might be right now. If he kicks this, Palmer, they're in front.
Oh.
They can win. You bet they can win.
It's been a star all day, Reece Palmer. He really has been good. He came from the Dockers. He was the NAB Rising Star some years ago. It's taken a fair bit of time to get to his very best. He's had some knee problems, reconstruction, etc. But this is one of the best games I've seen him play.
Birchall gets engaged into the contest there, lays a tackle, but doesn't really stop the ball squeezing out. His opponent is Reece Palmer, sits on the outside, gets onto it, finishes well.
Well, you could argue this would be a bigger upset than round one against Sydney.
Definitely.
Reigning Premier Hawthorn. And right now, GWS are not just in it, they're in front. And Mumford believes, palms it down. Hodge in the middle now to stop the rot. And they get the clearance to half forward. Bouncing ball. Litherland didn't take possession. Knocked it over. Ward gives a handball up. Shield, who started all this, pops it to 50. Mark taken by Smith.
You're not going to make the distance from there, Devon.
Well, he's got 3 already.
He could run around him, dude.
He's not going to handball, Jared.
Well, Heath Shaw's just skunking out the backside.
He's looking at the goalposts and only the goalposts.
Oh, come on.
Wouldn't doubt this kid. You know him better than I do, Dermot. You're up there training with him.
He's a great kick, but I don't know this distance.
This is for number 4.
It's a good ride.
Gets plenty on it. It's coming back.
Oh, no way!
Post height.
You can't buy that. You cannot buy that. That's just pure confidence in your own ability and knowing your ability. And even with a slightly wet ball, he has gone back and backed himself.
But the big problem now, Jared, is you've got 21 young men from GWS who believe, and they will give everything for the next 35, 40 minutes. They honestly believe.
But Jared, you spoke about the tiredness of the group in that late in that second quarter. Now we're seeing so many more numbers around the ball. Wherever the ball is going, they are hunting the ball and they are outnumbering Hawthorn every single contest around the ground.
This bloke's had a big say in it too, Dwayne. Mumford's body just crashing in at the contest.
Look at the run
Shield,
now.
look at that 1-2 for Shield. 2 possessions in that string. Trelaw, who just wants it in his hands all the time. Hands it over to Smith. Too far out to have a shot. Takes it across the boundary. And this is a game we didn't expect. This is a game that Alistair Clarkson, who's sitting at home watching this, unable to coach this afternoon, would not have expected either. Unfortunately for Brendan Bolton, in his first game as an AFL coach, he's going to have to move some magnets in a hurry here. Sewell to half forward. Bouncing ball. Puopolo. Big hip and shoulder by Hampton. Ball comes to Hodge. Getting back more. Boundary line there. It's friendly for him. He keeps it in.
Got to be good. Got to be good.
Dangerous. And an arm slap free to Whitfield, even if it wasn't a mark.
He's playing a good game, Whitfield.
But that's the exact reason why the umpire had to pay deliberate a quarter ago, because otherwise Moore just turns around and takes the ball across the line. He had the courage to keep it in. I'm sure most coaches would have said get the ball over somehow, but the rules don't allow you to do it.
Palmer just couldn't get it and run. Langford knocks it free of his grasp.
Look at the numbers. More numbers starting to accumulate. The Hawks now understand that this could well be one of the biggest upsets that they have faced.
Gee, I was in Alice Springs yesterday, and I thought I could smell one coming over, boiling over there yesterday with an upset. Didn't happen in the end.
Gunston.
Well, the challenge is just beginning, because the Hawks now know that they're going to have to start playing at their very best. They're 11 points down, and all of a sudden it's business time.
Has been some big upsets this season. You mentioned yesterday it almost occurred in Alice Springs. Certainly occurred at the Gabba last night. Brisbane over the Blues. We talked about round 1. GWS over the Sydney Swans. You've got to dare to dream in this game. Gunston to cut it back to 5 points, and he was never going to miss.
That kick is a caress. Just guides it through. Just beautifully done. Watches the ball in flight. Now, if you see him at the bottom of the screen there, he's always looking at the ball in flight. See, his man is turned around there, Timmy Moore. Loses his footing because he's trying to watch ball, space, opponent. His eyesight's taken one way to the other.
But the stoppage coach would be filthy on his team.
That's your specialty.
Well, the stoppage was horrendous there for the Giants, and that's where they've got to get the balance right. Not one individual is going to win it on their own bat. They're going to have to stay disciplined, and when the ball is close to the Hawthorn's forward line, they can't all go winning the ball, because Hawthorn will win it as many times.
Hampton didn't want to take possession there. You've got to want the ball in your hands.
And a good decision. I mean, that was a missed kick as much as anything. And a very interesting decision by Kirtley.
Yeah. I don't know if he felt he was under more pressure.
Mumford. Calm down. Trelaw flicks it back to Shield.
Well, there again, you have the benefit of Shane Mumford. There's only one place that ball can go from the tap in forward that benefits GWS, and he's able to get it there because of his power, his strength.
It's a big job for Ruffy now. He can hurt Mumford at ground level.
Hodge held there, didn't appear to have it. Ward touched football, play on. Langford, Cheney drives it to half forward. Bruce might jump from 3 deep. He does. Moore gathers the crumb. Handball was sloppy. Shaw, kick was sloppy. Shaw under pressure, slaps it wide. Frost a bit sloppy. Roughhead gets there. Jack's about to corral him. Burgoyne never sloppy, lays a tackle. Scully, Mumford, Frost. But it could be coming back. Cameron's got a couple to beat here. Showmaker's one of them, Cheney the other. Cheney gathers, caught by Palmer.
Great pressure.
Down. Cameron hands it over the top. Lamb can go. Long kick. He's got Smith running onto it. It bounces kindly. Litherland just got there ahead of him. Takes it to the line. And slipped out unintentionally. Ball in.
Well done, Litherland. Read it best. Used his athleticism to get down there. And then slipped across the line, which is as good as any. And Jeremy Cameron did a great job as well. He is really struggling with that injury, but found a way.
Not a bad spot for a ball in if you've got Mumford, but he couldn't make that contest. Ward scoops it up. Cheney gets it outside 50. Gunston all the way back to half-back. Moore got there ahead of him. The push-off would have been prior opportunity, you'd think. Got away with it. Cheney to the wing. Burgoyne, thumb clear. And the Hawk fans are getting a little restless here. As you would. 5 points the margin. GWS leading, edging close to three-quarter time. After coming here thinking you were going to get a win and maybe a big percentage boost.
Billy Hartung, the loose player, he's the one that's got the pace. There's an opportunity for him to get hold of it and get it into the other end of the ground.
Not a massive crowd, and the weather would have kept a few Hawk fans away perhaps. Probably better to watch at home in some respects by the fire. But you better stoke it up at three-quarter time. This one's going to the wire. Again, the gang tackles come. And all of a sudden, Hawks players arguing with the umpires.
So at the other end of the ground, we're one kick away from the bulk of the rest of the players. You've got Heath Shaw, who's a spare. Everyone else is man-on-man. In many ways, they'll be expecting that someone will win the ball and feed it back to Heath Shaw if it goes that way.
Ward read that nicely. He knew what Hodge was going to do, and that's too high. Free kick.
Well, you need experience, and it's difficult to buy it, obviously, but you just can't go into a pack situation like that and give away a free kick. You've built the pressure. You can't let the pressure escape with a dumb decision.
Oh, danger. Shut down. Oh, towed off the deck. They get away with it, Hawthorn. Litherland gets there in time to Birchall, and now it opens up. There's spaces ahead. Puopolo, Birchall, Sewell trying to hunt it down, get there, off the carpet. Jack's got there ahead of them all, took it to the boundary line, and then kept it alive to his detriment. Hartung.
Reads it well, though, Jacks. Probably shouldn't have kept it in, but...
Oscar Elliott down to Hampton.
That's that balance we talked about, and the run from defence.
Scully, he's got Cameron long. Over Cameron's head, he hits Suckling instead.
Well, everybody just kept on running to goal. Somebody has to go up the ground to let the
break sideways. That's your break sideways, then.
Now look at the scoreboard. There's 32 minutes gone. They know there can't be long left. Birchall to Burgoyne, but there's still a couple of minutes left. Burgoyne backtracks. Still a chance for the Hawks to take this lead back at three-quarter time. Simpkin.
He's been good, Simpkin. Plenty of touches again.
Mumford's too close. He's got to get back. He's loitering. Ball goes over his head.
Gunston uses the body. Addison experience as well with him. Gunston lays a tackle. Hawk fans screaming for a free. Good spot for a ball up for Hawthorn.
Yeah, Mumford was caught thinking he's going to go short here. I'll try and pick this off. There's no finesse required when you chain Mumford. Get back for that long kick down the line.
Hodge, palm down, Bruce, straight out of the playbook of training to Smith, standstill, Hawks in front, class act.
That third man up to the GWS, and they haven't been able to combat who's it going to be all day long.
And it's a combination of experience at one end. Look at this, Bruce just getting the ball back. And then another terrific goal. At the other end of the ground, they had a similar opportunity, and yet it was just a blind kick to the forwards who are all running forward, and Hawthorn's smart defence turned this into a goal.
He's kicked some goals today. He's 2 wonderful snaps and a bomb from 65.
This is third, puts them in front. Crucial seconds coming up to three-quarter time here for momentum, for belief's sake. Treloar got it from Ward, kicks long. Cameron down there.
Right.
Cheney went back. Put it to the deck though. Didn't get paid it. Didn't hold it long enough. Schoenmakers. Little roller. Mumford got there first. To Smith, who wants to have the shot. Didn't want a handball. Caught. Had Pryor. Schoenmakers dives in. We're inside a minute. Well, it's a 34-minute quarter.
Look at that pack line. They've 5 men come up off top of the ball. Well, they want it.
On a serious point, that is the time where Devon Smith just needs to think best disposal and maybe handball.
Ward kicked it off the carpet. Cameron, did he get a toe on it? Great tackle, Litherland went back and got it. Saved a goal. Might even set one up. They've still got 35 seconds left. Ball to the wing. Burgoyne tries to track it down. Moore just got there first.
What great defending by Angus Litherland there. I mean, young kid, first season. He's not that young. He's one of those 3 or 4 year players in the Magoos that's come through and he's been trained the way they want him. But a wonderful effort in his first season of AFL to just stop a goal.
Still time enough for a clearance here and a score to either side. And Hodge just bangs it forward. Went where the football.
Tough volley.
You learn that as a kid. Rainy day.
Sometimes one act can actually be determined of a win. Now, if that becomes a GWS goal, the momentum going into three-quarter time might have carried them across the line. Still may do, obviously, but robbing them of that goal was really significant.
The Hawks could still steal one here. Closing seconds. They're at half forward. Segler dragged down. Sewell. Rough head. Hodge. From 50, just sprays it slightly, but a ball in would still, with a couple of seconds left on the clock, give them a chance for some sort of crazy free kick from the ruck throw-in.
The Giants need 18 blokes around this stoppage.
Well, that's when the runner's got to go out and say, every one of those 18, just get it down there and do not let it get to the outside. Oh, Burgoyne just loitering, just like a shark with his fin popping out through the pack.
Three-quarter time, MCG, and it's a cliffhanger. These two teams might be a long way apart on the AFL ladder, but they're not far apart on the scoreboard. Hawthorn by a point with a quarter left. Get their season back on track and get the win that most thought was unwinnable. Ward off the deck, bouncing ball. Cheney takes it to the line. Hill tries to cut it down. Whitfield, he took him on, took him to the boundary, and he took him out.
I'll tell you what, it was nearly a brilliant moment in the match, but the big guns are in the middle for the Hawks. Burgoyne's in there. They've pushed the skipper into the middle, but it was the Giants who got the first clearance.
Yeah, who wins, young legs or premiership experience? The reigning premiers, the Hawks, are without a few this afternoon, it must be said, but right now GWS in this up to their eyeballs. Smith to half forward, good contest. Hoskin Elliott tucked up against the boundary. Caught a little high. Free kick.
Just leaned into the tackler. Lowered the front leg. Takes an overstride and leans into it.
He sits it up, hoping for the leap. Cameron and Patton are both there. Off some hands. Dangerous spot. Suckling. And the ball in.
Well, they've got to do better than that, Dermot. As somebody who deals in the forward line up there, that needed to be locked in, that forward line.
No a small player was able to be front and centre. Such a steep ball dropping, it's never going to go over the back. It's always going to come forward. And that's the crunning forward's responsibility to hold it in. A great tap.
Good
super tap.
Smith, well, there was that handball opportunity. He had Pryor. Got to be ball.
Yeah,
has to be ball.
Wonderful tackle.
Langford.
Wanted to put the step on him. He knows, look at him, he's 65 out, 70 out. He wanted to put the step on and get to about 50 and unload.
It's great work by Langford, though. He's had some important one-on-one wins, and they've put Langford onto Smith. It's a good move.
See how, once again, that's where Cheney leads Patton to the ball. It could only come in down that line. He has to claw his way to the front.
This is danger. If Burgoyne's allowed to run free, Hawthorn will win by 3 goals.
DeRay the target for the long kick towards the wing. It just didn't sit for him. And it rolls out of play. Can Hawthorn get their mojo back? They have appeared to have this game in their keeping for most of the afternoon, and yet with each passing second, GWS get closer to the upset of the year. Treloar. Little bump on Kennedy's kick. It's a 2-on-1. The Hawks have the 2. Hodge, Shield tried to keep his feet, just couldn't in the end. Litherland.
He's a bit stiff there, Dylan Shield, because Hodge slipping over almost prevented him getting the ball. Look at this.
Hill takes on Whitfield, puts the Jets on, drives it towards goal. Post.
Gee. He's not slow, Lockie Whitfield.
No, that was just brutal football by Brad Hill, though. Unfortunately, didn't complete it. But there's been a number of these things that all add up sometimes, Dermot, to enormous upsets. We've had the touch ball at the other end of the ground when Tomlinson went up and touched the ball from 20 metres out. Balls hitting the post, etc.
Got to have Mumford get this over the boundary and not over the back.
Hodge. Duray. Touch play on, that'll work. Rough head can go for goal.
Well done.
Experienced, cool head there. Give it to me, boys.
Beautiful kick.
Well, he took the responsibility. That was just a magnificent kick. A couple of issues at the stoppages again. The GWS will look at that through the week and try and learn from that. But you just see Hodge here. He knows there's a spare player behind, and that spare player just gets a mongrel kick forward, but there's so many players free. So clearly they hadn't set up their defence at the stoppage, and it allowed Roughhead to assume responsibility and deliver a very big goal.
When the kick was intended to come out of the back pocket, Jared, a lot of GWS players, 3 of them ran for the short kick. They weren't honoured with that. What they had to do was then pull out and get man up. They didn't, and that's where those Hawthorn players came from.
Hodge, the play on call from the umpire. He is trying, and then he wasn't trying, and then he realised he might get done if he doesn't keep trying. They put an extra player back. Frost. A roller. Duray.
Oh, well done, Mumford.
Mumford on hands and knees. Lamb can go off the carpet as well. Hatton making a contest. Drag Cheney out of it. Hoskin Elliott looks up. Treloar. Lamb. It's kickable by his standards if he takes it. He rolled it towards goal. Didn't quite hit it that well. Litherland. Danger. Schoenmakers. Dangerous spot to hit. It works, Bruce.
And look out for Hill. His pace will be involved here.
They've got the run on here. Hill takes off. Left it behind. Went back and got it. You know how quick Hartung is from 50. It's wide, and that might do.
Important touch there. I think it was Curtly Hampton got to him.
Well, here's a little tap on from Billy.
That was clever.
Smart play from Billy Hartung, and a nice little fumble there from Bradley allows him to get back involved. There's real pace. Hill and Hartung. That'll be important come September.
Can they put this one beyond doubt in the next 5 minutes while they've got their mojo?
Off the bench, Dwayne.
Absolutely. Hallahan set it all up wide. Oh, Simpkin puts it to grass. And that could be deliberate. If it stays, yeah, just roll a little, and the umpire says you're gone. Deliberate. Too obvious.
That's one of those ones. I reckon if you can get the ball more than 50 metres up the field, well, bad luck to the opposition for not being there.
It's a free kick that, in some ways, we've got from ice hockey. That's icing. That's a free kick in ice hockey as well. Long kick. Top of the square. We steal a lot of our stuff from other sports. Moore hacks it clear.
So this is where the key forward has to come up. You understand you're under pressure. You can't just sit back and say, somebody get it deep to me somehow. Come up and meet that.
And now it opens up. Martin again. Top of the square. Roughhead lurking. Ball to the back. Hill just tapped through by Lamb.
Oh, they're under pressure, but they're still in with the shot. They need a quick break. They need a couple of possessions from this kick in. A quick break over the back.
50 metres.
Okay, so abuse 50 metres.
That's very, very important in the scheme of things.
Well, don't take your time, Heath. Get up quickly. The Hawks haven't set their defence.
He's got Hoskin Elliott.
Kennedy's the one he went for in the end instead. And he heads wide. Good kick. Scully. Maybe beyond his range. He thinks about it. Centering kick. Cameron's down there. Patton's down there. Patton! That's a monster.
That's exactly what the Giants have been looking for 3 years. Somebody to stick the mitts up and take a grab.
Big man, #1 pick. He's had a tough road, injury-riddled opening to his AFL career, but that's the moment. Just needs to complete the deal. 3-point margin.
Well, the 50-metre put a different complexion on it. It was Ruffy who's given the umpire a bit of gob there. He's given it to him on the way. But yeah, it's a delayed reaction. He must have kept going at him. Yeah, it was Roughhead. And here's Big Jonathan.
Well, it was a smart kick from Scully, as Dwayne said. Didn't have the distance, hit it to the top of the square. And he is going to be the pack marker. I don't think that's Cameron's go, but certainly is Patton's.
Little momentum swing back toward GWS here.
So Cameron was very important in that marking contest. He just touched the hip of Schoenmakers to make him grounded so he couldn't outstretch and get third man up, jump against Patton.
Clearance could be priceless here. Sewell gets it. Roughhead wants to make amends. He doesn't come to this contest. Mumford couldn't reach it. Little flick to Hill. Gave it up to Hodge. Stolen back by Addison. He's the sub. Fresh. The poke pass. Could be a turnover. Cheney wrapped up by Tomlinson. Shields. Hartung gets it out just in time to Segler. Shields. Not 15. Hill told to go. Sets it up again. Smith's inside 50. Gunston was there. Good spoil. Frost gets a chance to get a handball away now. Frost throws it away in the end to Jacks. He gives it back. Roughhead. Good tackle. He needed to spill it out. He had the cavalry arrive. Just couldn't get it to them.
How good was the tackle by Roughhead? He knew his opponent was going to dip and go to ground, so he lowered and slid in there with him.
Free kick. Hawthorn ball. Hawthorn free. Top of the square to Smith. And Leon Cameron can't believe it.
They worked so hard at the other end. I didn't pick it up there, Jared. Did you get a sighter on it?
That's why we've got the replay, hopefully.
This is for number 4.
Right.
He's got 3 straight.
Well, Shields on the mark.
And there's a hush here at the MCG. Hawk fans silent. There's a nerve settler.
Well, they weren't just going to collapse the Hawks and allow the GWS to come across with a big win. There's the push out there from Dylan Shield. He's had a great game, Dylan.
Yeah,
but that's dumb.
That's dumb, and it's dangerous. That's actually tunnelling. He's pushed him into the ruck contest. That is really dangerous. You're going to get called every day, every hour for that.
Eight times in this game, Hawthorn has pushed the margin past the goal. And every time, Greater Western Sydney have fought back.
Good game. We got 6 forwards, 6 backs at both ends of the ground. So they're going man on man. This is about who's got the better spread.
And a good collect by Lamb. Pumps it back. Goal square. It might skim to the back end. It's rolled through. Just hit the post. Just.
It was good work by Jeremy Cameron, who just protected the drop zone. Nice work from Terrell out of the middle. They've got it going. They're not giving it going away here, the Giants.
Got to seal off the opportunities to go sideways here and force it down the line so Mumford stands in the way.
Puopolo stands under it, and Segler made it his own.
Being done on the drop.
And now Hill with some space can gather and slip the handball to Smith. Short pass is errant. Mark taken by Moore, who he wants to come dangerously across the ground, but at least they're taking it on. Kick needs to be good. Scully made it good. Open space now for GWS. He did go back instead of forward. Whitfield.
See, now that Lamb was leading into space, now it's closed up. Had he gone first up, but that's a good lead by Tomlinson. Big tank on Tomlinson. He's got to follow this ball in.
Cameron to the pocket, dives. Just left it behind. Schoenmakers
Good kick.
Yeah, steadying kick towards, cut in the middle of it. That's hard to believe. Whitfield, it was never his ball. It was always going to be Gunston's, and then he dropped in the middle to Scully.
I've seen why he's so highly rated today. In one of the biggest games they've had, he has been one of their best.
Well, they've never beaten the Hawks. They've never won at the GWS. Rough head flies, goes back to lend a hand, and they need everybody to lend a hand right now. Langford from the pocket. Kick smothered, and that's been the trend all day.
Let's have a look at the Cameron dive here. And it's a whiplash into the ground. Can kick the ball beautifully, Ryan Schoenmakers.
Mumford does some ruck work, got there, slapped it down, but slapped it straight down to Hawthorn.
Great kick.
Moore with the fist. Went safety first. Gets it back from Shaw. They can set it all up again. Heads wide, bouncing ball. Good step for Hoskin Elliott. Brilliant tackle by Litherland. He wasn't fooled by it. Crowd wanted a free and they get it to Hawthorn.
He's been very good when he hasn't had the ball today.
He'll come back. Not allowed to play onto advantage. Litherland's ball.
Hawthorn, he's left him standing here.
So the Hawks up has got it. And if you've just joined us, Hale was subbed out for Hawthorn in the third. Langford had to wait for the bounce. Smith. Oh, that's a kick.
He got it
He's
away.
kicked that with the outside of his boot. Trelaw to Cameron.
He's got one over the top.
Oh, just go back and kick it. He's within range.
He's got this distance covered.
He kicked a ripper in the third. He showed his poise and his class in the third. Needs to do it again here.
Just because of his height and his timing, he gets his foot travels such a long way. He gets such a long swing through the ball.
It'll come back a bit. It'll come back. Not enough. 7 points the margin. Still a ton of time left.
That's 3 posters in the final quarter. 1 to Hawthorn, 2 to the Giants.
Yeah, and there was one in the third, of course, that cost GWS. Just skimmed it. Frosty. He's not the slow man. He goes short inside, and a good mark taken. So this is alive.
Well, I like Frosty. He works. He reads the ball, and he's prepared to go up the ground and take the game on at its most, I guess, difficult position, because they were gone. If that ball goes over the back, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And yet he attacked it, and he delivered the ball well.
Christian Jakes back into the team this week. First game of the year. Third game for his career. Biggest moment. Just across the face. That's almost a mark. Not paid. And taken out.
He's got a big, long reach on him, hasn't he? We go up there, Jared, when I stand next to him, sometimes when we try and do... I tell you what, that is a millisecond being off being a mark. You can't do some stuff with him. He's just too big to show. You can't do practical demonstrations with him.
Scully, this is big. Back to the square. And the fists come, and guess what? There's one kick in it. 6 points the margin. Birchall to kick it in. Players look at the scoreboard. There's 16 minutes gone. They know there's plenty of time left. The quarters have been going 30. 30 pluses. Hill, Hampton. 2 Indigenous starts for either side, head to head. Towed off the deck. Trelaw got there first. All in. Hawk fans have been screaming and shouting. They've been silent a couple of times, and for the first time ever, Brendan Bolton in the coach's box calling the shots. And Leon Cameron was an assistant coach at Hawthorn for a while. He knows this outfit, and this would be the biggest win of his coaching career.
It's the only time this year that Leon Cameron will have an experience advantage on his other coach.
Smith the pass. Cameron tried to turn and go and slipped. Litherland steady. Hartung.
You see that pace around the pack from Devon Smith. That suggests to me that he can spend more time in the midfield as he starts to build his tank.
Puopolo.
Good kick, good mark under pressure, Hawthorn.
They have not been able to break GWS's back all afternoon. Scully. They've led by 2-goal margin a few times, the Hawks, and GWS has just continued to come.
Now you've got Segler against Johnny Patton in the ruck. So can they take advantage? Hill's third man up here. He's going to skim through.
Ward. Langford.
Tim Moore and Jared Ruffhead in the goal square. 1-on-1.
And here it is in their direction. Ruffhead might not get there. He does.
Push out. Gee, lucky.
Well, he's taken
Kennedy's down.
some carnage with him.
Yeah, Kennedy slow to get up. 8.5 minutes left. This would be the biggest win for GWS of their whole time in the competition, given that they're coming from 2 disastrous thrashings, back-to-back losses by over 100 points. This would be the best possible response. Ruffhead trying to stop that from happening. Handball smothered. Treloar to the wing. Good one-on-one contest. Sean Makers, Cameron. Cameron tried to keep it in.
Been good, Sean Makers. He's worked out Cameron's strengths, and that is to take the front position. He likes feeding back, yet he's been with him, blocking him most of the day.
Mumford and Segler, as it has been for most of the afternoon. Burgoyne, he was the star in the opening half. Hawthorn have lost their last 2 coming into this against quality opposition, but it's still 2 losses coming in. This would be 3 losses in a row if they can't get up, and would leave them outside the top 4. Back into play. Ward third man up, but straight down to Sewell. Not tackled high, no prior opportunity.
Gee, this is some sort of effort by GWS. They've now ticked over 99 tackles for the game. So their next one is their raise the bat.
Treloar. It's probably more than they've had the last 2 weeks combined.
Correct.
Langford did well with the land to the line. 1 kick in it. 6 points the margin. Some nervous men there. Not just Brendan Bolton, but Brett Ratton asked a couple of questions, just reaching back for some suggestions. Burgoyne. Caught. Litherland. Caught. Ball.
Great tackle.
He has been incredible today. Whitfield, he's had 30 possessions, but it hasn't been just the number, it's been the type of possession. He has won so many footballs.
Palmer stays down, almost got it off the back.
Oh, well done, Sewell.
Sewell, Duray to try and set it up all the way from defence. Hard tongue, a little iffy that handball. Sean Makers makes it somebody else's problem. Shaw should cut this down. Puopolo cuts him down. They both slide. Shaw goes down. Flick to the back. Whitfield again wrapped up. He gathered whilst on the ground. That sometimes spells trouble. You bet it does. Harsh, but the umpire was circling like a shark.
Gee, it's so difficult for the Giants. The ball's lived centre of the ground, predominantly forward of centre for GWS, and they've had no return for the last 6 or 7 minutes. And you would just hate to see, for the sake of the game, that Hawthorn go forward and, well, make it a 12-point margin.
Well, here's an opportunity with a ground ball. Get it across the line, they get a stoppage, you can start again.
See, they've done well to hold them up around this centre of the ground. They've just said to Hawthorn, you're going to play honest football. We're going to force you to kick down the line. We'll choke up and we'll stop you going backwards and sideways and use those foot skills. If you can beat us down the line, well, good on you. We're going one-on-one with you. Occasionally, we'll try and peel one back.
Clearance from Smith. Cameron wrapped up by Schoenmakers. Good grab. Showed some poise there. Litherland. He's being shut down by Scully. Rolling ball. Dangerous.
Keep your feet.
And he does. And cleverly scoops to the sanctuary. He kept that alive. He gained 70 metres.
Applaud that. What an effort.
Bruce dragged down, wrapped up, no prior. Has to be a ball up. That was brilliant.
Well, Litherland's put his name on the map today. Dermody has done an enormous job a couple of times, including one of the spoils of the year in the goal square.
He wasn't meant to play. It was a late inclusion. Gunston, you could not have it in better hands from here.
And he's a good size too, Angus Litherland. 192 centimetres, 90 kilos he's listed at. He's probably a little heavier than that. Might have got him as he walked in with that weight.
Gee, he's got some pace. You just write this one down for this bloke, don't you?
Once again, at the other end, you saw Jeremy Cameron embracing the contact with his opponent Schoenmakers, and then think that the body contact was going to make a spill, which was going to fall out the back, and he motioned to get that direction already, but Schoenmakers just wouldn't let it go. He got it on the second grab.
That's for 4 straight for Gunston, the Deadeye. Gold class.
Well, this bloke is fast becoming one of the all-time great kicks at goal, Dermot. You've been around a long time and seen some great players, played with some great players, but you get to a stage where all you can do is be as good as the very best. And he just kicks so many great goals that he's going to, I think, finish his career in that category.
How good was that kick going into him? That went over the head of an opponent and dropped into his run-on path. So he's still making a motion towards it. Super kick, and that kick from the set shot. He's a very mechanical set shot kicking style, which means not much can go wrong with it. And he's anything but mechanical in his all-round general play as a footballer.
Can they break their hearts here? Sewell long inside 50. Brewster's down there, Shaw almost outmarked him. The ricochet. Hill tucked into the pocket. Frosty again drags him down, and will get a ball in. 2 goals the margin, 5 minutes left. The reigning premier. They've been under pressure from the outset. GWS. Have they got some fight left? Player's gone down off the ball. Umpire lets it roll. Segler. Touched is the call. Frost. Gunston. And that was thumped through for a behind, but it's handy. 13 points the margin. It's 3 kicks now if they're to get up from here.
Come out wide. Somebody's got a break. Get to it. Get to it. Good boy.
Lamb.
Well done. And go. Spin and roll.
Well, they've believed all afternoon. Why wouldn't they still believe now? To the wing. Good crushing fist from Litherland. Down to Hodge. He gains 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 metres as it rolls.
Once again, we've been singing his praises, but Litherland behind the scenes has got his hands on his knees. He is a spent unit, but he just gives it all, and he's got plenty to give.
We just saw Hodgie turn and point to him then, Jared, and just give him a big clap. Just saying, great work, mate. You've been excellent.
Sure. Need to take it on now. Tomlinson took it to the line. That's ball. He's gone. 13 points the margin. 3 kicks. 4 minutes left. Litherland takes off. Thumps it long. Addison left it behind. Oh, Hill tried the little toe and go.
That's round the neck too, nearly.
They're still not giving up. Segler. Rough head. He sprays it. And this will give the ball back to GWS. Although, just bounces inside the line. That's perfect. That's better than a behind. Inside 4 minutes. They have been forced to fight to the death. And Litherland
there you go, Jerry.
has taken them all the way to the death.
He gave it all.
And he wears the nothing but black boots. He's your old-fashioned style.
Well, he's a radical if he's wearing black boots.
That's right. Black is the new pink.
Hey, you get a look at those boots. They're just nothing on them but black leather.
So if anything, this has got to give the Giants like their own feedback on what it takes to be competitive in this industry, and that is hard work by every player every minute of the game. Now, you have your ups and downs through seasons, but you can never ever let it get to the level that it was the last couple of weeks.
Well, this is their standard. They have to say this is the standard that is acceptable now. That type of play there. He's taken him down for the 105th tackle the Giants have laid today.
Haven't given up yet. Scully feeds it long. Trelaw hands it back to Step. Lamb wants to have the shot from 50. Sits it up. It's wide. Trelaw, can he get there?
He's a good kid, Adam Trelaw. He's a competitive beast.
He doesn't know how long left, and he's kept this game alive.
Well, you're right, Dwayne. All of a sudden now it is alive. They need to get a pretty quick centre clearance. Obviously, they've got to score a couple of times. But that wasn't mucking around. That was just throwing everything at it. And as you said, Dermot, he's a very clever player. He's a gut runner.
He is a competitive beast. He's at the little games they do at training and the likes. He gets fully fledged serious with some of his teammates and wants to take it further. He doesn't know how to back down.
Well, that's the sort of player that will turn this franchise club, as they call it, into a respected part of the AFL.
Segler. Mumford. Closing minutes, and there's the clearance. Treloar, some nervous Hawks right now. Patton's down there. Got it. Oh, boy.
What a stretch. Oh, Greg Johnny, you got 2 minutes 40. Make sure of the kick.
There's 28 minutes gone on the scoreboard. They may think there's only a minute or so left. Do they know they're a chance here?
Treloar beelined that footy off the wing.
Massive moment. And he sprays it. But it's one kick, the difference.
7-point play coming.
Deliberate, Jared, you thought?
Could be. It's the best I can come up with.
Points in it. This kick in.
No one on the mark.
He
can
huge.
Bounce. He can take a second bounce.
Still no one coming at him. Cameron does now. Mumford's lurking. Jacks is lurking. Huge fist. Back into the hot spot. Scully couldn't get there. Shaw did. Rolls it inside 50. A goal would tie the scores up. Cheney, Duryea, Smith reaches for it. Hawks under some pressure. Shields got there.
What a kick under pressure.
Inside 2 minutes. One kick the margin. Suckling.
Now Suckling's tempted to over-kick it on occasions and actually skin the ball.
Got to push up and man up here. They're going to waste the clock.
Are they going to take the whole 90 seconds off, do you think?
Well, they've got to anticipate that.
They got one extra down the line here. He hasn't spotted him. Now, Hill has to run back. He can go past. If this goes off the hands of the pack, he can go right on.
Huge pluck, Segler. Good moment for that. And we're down to a minute. They just need to be clever here. He could go backwards if he wants to.
He's got to man up. They've only one option is man up.
He goes backwards. No, he thought about it. Hodge called for it. He kicks it to a 50-50. A mark would be monstrous. And it is a mark. Ward.
Breaking it. They just have to run. They have to run now. They take the risk. He's got to mark this.
To Scully, who can go?
Go, 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 go.
Kennedy and Treloar is about to be shut down. There's the tackle that wins it. That's the tackle that settles the nerves. Short to Puopolo. Still a chance. Duryea misses, but that'll do. 7 points, 35 seconds. They can't win it from here.
Oh, just no awareness on that occasion. Adam Treloar. He was looking for something to unfold up the field, but they were spent. They couldn't offer him anything, and that's why he held it so long.
Regardless, it has been amazing here. Long kick towards the wing. Addison, great contest, Cheney. They don't know how long left, or maybe they do. 25 seconds left. It's been incredible. Didn't expect this coming here to the ground today. They have fought this one brilliantly. Renewed respect for GWS as Hodge gets one too high. It's a bit like watching the movie The Titanic. You knew what the ending was going to be. You just wanted to enjoy the fight as it went down, and they are going to go down, but it's been one hell of a fight. Hodge thumps it to half forward. Dying seconds. Down towards the congestion.
Oh,
good attack from all players, right to the wire. And the Hawks get out of jail.
What a fantastic effort from GWS, and well done. A supplemented Hawthorn team, Jared. There's just blokes coming into this team who probably thought they're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get their opportunity, but they were made to earn it, and work they did. Big Shane Mumford on screen with Segler. Here is his opponent for the day. Cam Mooney's with an old foe. The bloke who used to drop in front of you, Moons, but he dropped in today.
Oh, the man I respect more than anyone in the footy, Hodgie. They just would not let you have your own way today.
No, without a doubt. Look, they've had a couple of tough weeks, and we knew they were going to come out hard. With the quality of kids they got in there, they're in and under, they're strong boys, and look, they put it to us. Look, I thought we found a couple of young defenders there that really stood up throughout the night. Gussie Leland, who took the game on, who tried to run. It was just a solid fight, fought win for it. I'm bugging, mate. I'm bugging.
No, fair enough, mate. And you're right, you did find some really good kids. And Zach Smith and Gunston, again, just stepping up for you guys when it mattered most, kicking big goals for you.
Yeah, exactly right. It's I said it's not a pretty win, but the close ones, the ones that you always let slip, but you fight and get over the line, are the ones that you sit back and are very thankful for afterwards.
Mate, thanks for your time, mate. Go and have a rest up. Thanks, mate.
This has been